Welcome in. This update presented by DraftKings. We're going to start off here with the Padres. They had the day off yesterday, starting off with the 3-game series today against the Rangers at Petco Park later on tonight. Trade deadline is next Tuesday in Major League Baseball. Padres have given no indication yet on what their plans are. Currently, they're sitting at 49-54 on the season, 6.5 games out of that final wild card spot. Cubs, Marlins, D-backs. They stand between San Diego and the postseason with 59 games left in the year. Shohei Ohtani, he makes history once again last night. The Angels played a doubleheader against the Tigers. In Game 1, Ohtani threw a complete game, one-hit shutout on the mound. In Game 2, Ohtani blasted a pair of home runs. Both games were wins for the Angels. This coming the day after the Angels committed to Shohei Ohtani for the rest of the season. NFL, couple of injuries yesterday in training camp. Scary moment for Bengals fans. Quarterback Joe Burrow, he was carted off the field during practice. Appears to be an injury to his calf. No update yet on the severity. And Dolphins star cornerback Jalen Ramsey, he's going to miss the start of the season after he injured his knee in practice yesterday. However, he did avoid the ACL tear. He will have surgery on the knee. This update was presented by DraftKings.
We made it. We made it to a Bar Card Friday. Bar Card Friday, as always, brought to you by Kagan Bottled with 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. You need to stock up for the weekend. Just head on by any of those 10 locations. I promise you, they have exactly what you're looking for.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. If you're spending time by the pool, there's nowhere better to go and stock up for your weekend.
Yeah.
Stock up the cooler.
No doubt. No diggity.
How are the headphones going today?
The headphones are going well today.
Good.
Yeah, things are better today. I had a little piece unscrewed that I had to fix, and now she's back to normal. But trying to get everything set up for a Bar Card Friday here, it's tough with only two people.
Tough with two people, which is why we're inviting a special guest in the 8 o'clock hour.
That's right. That's right. We have a special guest host because Rich is out this week. He'll be back with us next week, a little bit later, like next week, as he's visiting family back east. Aaron Bauman. Aaron Bauman's going to be our guest host. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Owner of the Flabongo.
That is correct.
Does she bring it? Do we need bets? I haven't mentioned it to her. Have you?
I have not said a word.
Okay.
Did you see the email from yesterday?
I did. I saw her dad's coming too.
Yes. So her dad is coming. So special guest host too. Now she might be listening right now. So that may blow the bet here.
No, she has kids. She's busy in the morning, man.
I'm going to say she does not bring the Flabongo because her dad's in studio.
You know what? I have faith. She's bringing it. She's bringing it.
Her dad built that Flabongo, carved it from an old oak tree that got struck by lightning.
That's true.
Yeah, it did happen. But man, yeah, very excited. But we did make it to the end of the week. These past few weeks, as we've been trading out weeks here to go on vacation, have been
it's a once a year type of thing. Like once Richie gets back, we're here because once Richie gets back, it's football season.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of us over the next several months, especially once the Aztecs kick in, which we're 29 days away. Rich and I literally can't take time off during Aztec season because we're doing stuff for the Aztecs every single day. Right. And I can't wait for that. And maybe Travis will get a little involved this year with some Aztec stuff.
Only time will tell. It'll be like a gift that you'll get to open up 6 days away from NFL football.
I mean, kind of.
It is football.
Yeah, you're right. The Hall of Fame game is football, but it's like really bad football, which I'm okay with. Bad quarterback play is fun to watch sometimes.
That's fine. That's fine. Jets and the Browns don't look for any starters to be out there. I mean, does Aaron Rodgers even show up at the game?
He'll be there.
Will he be in uniform?
Yeah, he'll be in uniform. He'll be there.
Okay.
And I'd imagine he'll have the headset on. Look, especially when you're starting off with a new offense with a new team, a lot of times they like to get those quarterbacks, even if they're veterans, in there and actually have the headsets on the whole time so that they can hear the play as it's being relayed in, and so they can practice the cadence, even if it's just in their head.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, I would be shocked if he wasn't, and I would be shocked if there wasn't a headset on him. And I would also be shocked if he didn't have some intense focus going on.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
you only get a few swings at this thing before it's time to go.
right. You are probably correct. And he is pretty invested here. Invested so much that he said, yeah, I'll take $35 million less if we can put together a solid team.
Dude, I'm so impressed by that. Like, if I can actually, I've been an Aaron Rodgers hater pretty much his entire career. Like, I'm not a Aaron Rodgers fan. I
Right.
never have been.
Right.
Especially he's been on the Packers for so long, and the Niners just continuously beat the Packers in the postseason. So it's been fun to kind of poke at him. But this was, I mean, what a move. Like, I don't think I fully computed how big of a move that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's very un-Aaron Rodgers, in my personal opinion.
It's the opposite of
It's
Aaron Rodgers.
Completely opposite. So maybe he's turned over a new leaf. Maybe he's a new guy. And maybe he's always been a great guy, and the people at Green Bay were just awful to him. And that's why he was so angry.
I don't know if he's always been a great guy.
I was trying to put a
I
positive
think he's always
spin
been
on
kind
it.
of a bad teammate.
Trying to
And
put a
probably a bad
positive-
employee. I think he's been a massive pain in the ass.
But-
But now I
can
do
tell.
think one thing we know about Aaron Rodgers is he listens to everything and he hears everything and he sees everything. So Aaron Rodgers knows that there's the talking points going around that, well, he's only won one Super Bowl. And great quarterbacks in NFL history have all at least won two.
Right.
So I think that could be part of
Right.
it.
Eli
He
Manning.
needs to get another one. Yeah, Eli Manning has a freaking 2 Super Bowls, which is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Giants have had the worst winning percentage in the last 10 years.
Randy Meisner, founder of one of the founding members of the Eagles, passed away yesterday at the age of 77. I believe he was the bass player, but he co-wrote a few songs there, including
The Eagles, the band.
the Eagles, the band. Yeah. Wait.
You had me in football mode, man.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
thinking,
Oh, yeah. I didn't even put that together. I was so focused on the Eagles, the band. I was just worried because Sinead O'Connor died a couple days ago. Now we have Randy Meisner. They come in threes. Who's number 3? I don't know.
I'm
I
not
don't
going to
know.
guess that because if I'm right, FBI is going to be knocking on my
What-
door.
Listen, the rock legends of the 70s, the 60s, 70s are getting up there in age.
Yeah,
There
not
was
too many of them left.
no, they're starting to pass away, unfortunately. And
Are
that
there any of those
great era is
bands
going away.
that are fully intact still?
Oh, I'm sure if we start
No,
to
but like
look
the
into them.
big famous ones like Rolling Stones, Boston, Chicago.
I think the Rolling
you know-
Stones are all there.
Yeah,
I
they might be
think.
the only
I think.
ones.
Yeah, they may have. I mean, they may be pickled at this point with the amount of alcohol they've consumed
And other stuff.
and other stuff. Yeah, actually, Mick Jagger turned 80 2 days ago, 26th, I believe. Turned 80 years old. Had a massive blowout party, and there's pictures of him having to get carried out after the party.
That's going to be us, man.
That
When we're doing Bar
80
Cart
years
Fridays
old.
when we're 80 years old.
Woo! And the Padres, as we shift gears just slightly, just for a second, didn't lose yesterday.
No, they did not.
They did not play.
No, they did not.
Yes, that's correct. They do play today, though. Rangers, Petco Park. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Blind Burrow from noon to 6 p.m. I believe Darren Smith is back.
It sounds like he'll be there today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Blind Burrow, if you just looking for a place to go watch the game, you're looking for a place to go hang out for the evening, or if you're just heading to the game and you're passing by the Blind Burrow, stop in, say hey, grab a drink, grab a Casa Machado, get some nachos.
Sneaky order
Okay.
at Blind Burrow.
Okay.
The calamari.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. When we went to the Padres game, what is that, 2 weeks ago? Right before Mexico. We went to a Padres game. We were at the Blind Burrow beforehand, and we got an order of the calamari. It comes with 2 dipping sauces.
Okay.
One is like a spicy matcha sauce.
Okay.
My God, Travis.
Spicy matcha
I could
sauce?
drink it.
Is it green?
It's green. It's so freaking good. I could drink that sauce. And the
Wow.
other one is like kind of a spicy, almost like sriracha mix or something.
Okay.
So good.
Well, okay.
And
well,
it's not the real chewy calamari. It's crispy.
is calamari? Well, no, it's not
We
part of
cannot
the
eat
carnivore
calamari.
diet.
What'd you eat yesterday?
I ate a piece of actual just chicken, not ground
Nice.
chicken. Yeah, I grilled up some chicken, cut that up. I did put some seasoning salt on it.
That's okay. I'll forgive
Yeah,
it.
I went that far with it because I needed something to taste like something other than just chicken. I had to change it. What did you have?
Can
What
I
did
be
you have
honest with
yesterday?
you?
Yeah.
I had a few fistfuls of popcorn at the movie. I'm sorry, I
Listen,
didn't have a lot.
I get it.
But I did have a little. Kendall got the bag of popcorn, and you can't sit next to that smell the entire time at a movie theater and
No,
not
that's
just
true.
take a bite.
Yeah, it's actually scientifically impossible. Now, you said at the movie yesterday, I don't know, midday, you sent me a message. I've got to go see Barbie. And you did. And you wore pink.
I'm a good husband.
Did you wear pink?
I did.
Nice.
I was wearing a pink shirt.
Kendall had a costume?
No, it's like a sweatshirt with a bunch of different Barbies on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so look, she really wanted to see it. I forced her to go see
And
Oppenheimer.
you went in the middle
over
of the day,
weekend.
by the way, with the sweatshirt?
Middle of the day.
Wow.
Movie theaters are cold.
Okay.
Honestly, I didn't hate it,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
but it wasn't a good movie.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna go as far to say it was a good movie, but it wasn't terrible.
It's not terrible.
But it's
And
like Kendall was saying how much better it was than Oppenheimer. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
you're wrong.
Oh,
Just,
wow.
like
wow.
scientific, empirically, you're wrong.
Okay. There are moments that I did laugh at Barbie. I did make it through. I did think it was a little bit lengthy.
I
but
learned a lot.
about Barbie.
No, about us. We suck.
Oh yeah,
We're the
that's-
worst.
That you have to, as a dude watching Barbie, you're just gonna have to get past the message that you're a terrible human being.
We
I mean,
also-
there is such a narrative to the movie.
There's that moment in the movie where like Margot Robbie, who plays Barbie, is going through a character or like a crisis, like a personal crisis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she thinks she's ugly.
Yes.
And I'm like, you're Margot Robbie.
Which they point out in the movie.
The narrator
The
comes
narrator.
on and
Helen
says,
Mirren's the narrator. Yeah. Note to casting, don't cast Margot Robbie if you're trying to make this point.
I thought Ryan Gosling had some really funny moments in it. I thought he was probably the funniest part of the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
That stupid song has been stuck in my head ever since we left the theater.
Which-
I'm just Ken.
Oh, that's the one.
Anywhere else I'd be a 10.
Wow. I was singing
But to
Matchbox
her,
20.
I'm just a friend.
You know the words.
Kendall played it 50 times yesterday.
Oh, wow.
We were playing Mario
That's
Party last
incredible.
night, and Kendall would not stop playing that song.
Huh. I did like the I Am Knuff shirt.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that he wore. Look, there were funny moments. It's just, I mean, there's an agenda to the movie.
Sneaky great in that movie.
You just gotta get past it.
Carla from Cheers.
Carla. Oh yeah, that's Helen Mirren, is it not?
No, Carla from Cheers. The show Cheers from the 70s.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So the bartender, the sassy
Yeah,
waitress,
yeah.
Carla, she was the actress who portrayed the founder or the creator of Barbie.
Well, I got you. I don't know. Okay, I'm with you. I follow.
That's not Helen Mirren, though.
I don't know who that. I don't know who it is. I don't know. Well, should we look it up?
I'm pretty sure
I
she was
thought-
married to
I thought
Danny
she
DeVito.
was. I thought she was in. Yeah, I think you're right. But oh wait, I thought she was in the movie. Oh,
She
no.
was in the movie. She played
No, Helen Mirren. I mean.
Helen Mirren was the voiceover, the narrator.
Oh, well, oh, she was just the narrator. Okay, I got you.
Man, did you even see this movie?
Yeah.
I think you saw it twice.
I've seen it twice. Yeah, not by choice. Everyone. There was a bit.
and
we
you
were
still
doing
haven't
here.
seen Oppenheimer.
Oh, Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
That's her name.
And
Rhea
you still
Perlman.
haven't seen Oppenheimer?
No, I've seen Barbie twice. I haven't seen Oppenheimer. I haven't seen Mission Impossible. I haven't seen Indiana Jones. I'm hoping I can check at least one of those off the list this weekend. That would be nice. But yeah, I mean, come on. It's. I would not say it's a good movie either,
No.
but it was watchable. I mean, I made it through it. I got to be honest. I did not want to see it a second time. That was not.
Yeah, dude, you could not pay me to go to the movies
ever
to see it
my
again.
thought.
951 on the text line. Tony Bennett was the first one to die, followed by Sinead
Oh.
O'Connor, and now Randy Meisner.
Okay, you're right.
So that is
You're
three.
right. We got three. got three.
619 Blind Burrow ceviche and spicy margaritas on point. I agree, dude. Blind Burrow is fantastic. I'm a
Mhm.
big fan of that place. If you're looking for a spot just to go, say you got some people in town and you guys are going to the Padres game tonight, head over there early.
Yeah.
Head down there around 2:00,
For
1:00, and just have a few spicy margs. They're cheaper there than they are at the ballpark.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. My voice cracked there. I'm looking at some of the texts coming through. Are they holdovers from last night? Crazy in Love?
Yeah, there's a lot of there's some from this morning too that just say crazy. 774, explain yourself. And 845 also.
Crazy in Love, whatever that is. Also crazy, Shohei Ohtani.
Ridiculous.
What the hell? I mean, this is insane. This guy is absolutely incredible. 2 days ago, they say, you know what? We're all in. We're going to go for it. We're taking him off the market. We are not going to trade this guy. And the Angels don't have that much better record than the Padres. So if
And they're in the American League, which is much tougher.
much tougher. So they're going, you know what? We'd like to try to keep the guy. The only way we're going to do it is if we win a World Series.
Dude, and
we got to move forward.
He responds in a big way. I mean, talk about a historic day. Rich and I got in that argument a few weeks ago talking about Shohei Ohtani, and I've never said he wasn't great. He is great. Leave that argument in the past. What happened last night moved me more in Rich's direction.
It's crazy. A doubleheader yesterday.
He goes complete game, 1-hit shutout in game 1 against the Tigers. And then in game 2, he absolutely blasts 2 different home runs. And what I think the coolest moment was at the end of game 1 when it was the 8th inning. He was talking to Phil Nevin. He said, "No, this is my game. I'm going to finish it."
Yeah. Yeah. That was it. I'll finish it. Those are the words in the 8th inning. And he did. I mean, pitches a complete game, comes out, like you said, hits 2 home runs, but then leaves the game early with cramps.
Dude, I get it.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I totally get it. I'm not faulting the guy. I'm just saying you did all that in less than 2 games. It's incredible.
He's amazing, man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely amazing. And then in the NFL, some bad news. Jalen Ramsey, ACL's torn.
No tear.
Oh, no tear.
No tear. He avoided it. Yeah, Adam Schefter came out with that late last night. No ACL tear. He is going to have surgery on the knee, and he's going to miss multiple months, but it doesn't sound like it's a season ender. He avoided the ACL tear, which is huge.
Okay. All right. Well, I did see that they thought he could be back by December, which is kind of a bummer, but I guess at least he'll be back for some part of the season. First report said 6 to 8 weeks, and then I saw that it got pushed to December, but I didn't see that it was not a tear. So that's great news.
Yeah, Schefter 15 hours ago. So do the math on that. I think the initial reports were they were worried about the ACL.
1 p.m.
Yeah, but he said during practice, he's expected to miss the start of the regular season with the injury that he suffered during practice. He will have surgery. His ACL is intact, though, which is a positive.
Okay, good.
The other one I think is more scary.
Which one? Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow
gets carted off the field with a calf injury. This was during practice, obviously. They said he's fine. It's just a strain.
There's video of it. And when you see it, he's kind of scrambling around in the pocket, and then he takes about 3 steps to get out of the pocket to try to make a play down the field. And when he takes the first step, he immediately has that non-contact injury look.
That's not good.
I don't know what happened. I don't want to put extra fear into any Bengals fans' hearts, but it did not look good on video because it kind of looked like, if you recall, Kevin Durant about 5 years ago in the NBA Finals, he took 1 step, and that step looked a little funky, and then immediately popped up and was hopping a little bit. That's what it looked like to me. Now, they've said nothing about the Achilles. They've said nothing about anything like that. And apparently he did have a sleeve on that calf already. So maybe there was something that was bothering him already. But Joe Burrow goes down, is carted off. If you're a Bengals fan, your heart is in your throat until you get a tweet from the Bengals organization saying he'll be okay for game 1.
Yeah, because they've said he probably will not play any preseason.
No, and he wouldn't have before this. But now he's definitely not.
Wow. I was trying to see if I could get to the video real quick and watch this thing, but maybe it'll pop up. Yeah, that is very, very scary. And Joe Burrow, by the way, not a new contract yet.
Nope.
That's also bad news.
Yeah,
I don't know if that really hurts.
I don't think this changes any. I think he's probably going to be a Bengal for life unless something happens like Aaron Rodgers. But Joe Burrow, I thought a contract would have already been done, to be completely honest with you, but we'll see if it happens before the season.
Yeah, I just saw the video here. Yeah, you're right. It does have that same kind of a look. The good news is when he went down to the ground to hold on to the calf, he wasn't like writhing in pain. He did grab his calf. He did look like he was trying to rub it out in some manner, but it wasn't like didn't look like excruciating pain, which I would think that would be if it was your Achilles.
It's just that step he takes right after something happens.
Yep.
That's what makes me scared.
Yep. Oh man, yeah, that doesn't look great.
No.
Hopefully it is just a strained calf because look, and it's better for football if he's out there. I mean, whether if you're a Bengals fan or not, if he's out on the field, he's out there playing. The NFL is a better watch for sure. And then this little story pops up that I think is a little odd, to be quite honest. Nyheim Hines is now in a contract dispute because of this jet ski incident.
Makes zero sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. This really feels like the Bills are trying to screw the guy. And
but
I don't
it's
know.
not screw. That's contracts
I get
in the
I
NFL.
Get it. I get the contract. I get it. But it's almost like if you were, well, I don't know. Maybe it's not the same. I would say if you're at a bar and you're drinking maybe outside at a on a picnic table and a car hits you and now you're out you're out of the season because a car hit you, and then you go or then the Bills go, well, you know what? We're not going to pay you because in your contract it says you can't be drinking and driving. I wasn't. I was drinking outside. Now he was sitting on a jet ski. So he was clearly jet skiing at some point, but he was just sitting there. He wasn't out in the waves. He wasn't out doing anything that hurt himself. He was sitting there and somebody hit him. But
I still feel like
guess
there's more to the story, but yes,
Could be.
I follow your logic.
could be. I mean, he reworked his contract in the offseason. He agreed to a 2-year, $9 million deal. He was scheduled to make $2.5 million this season. But this off the field injury makes the contract voidable. And they don't have to pay the guy $2.5 million because he was sitting on a jet ski.
Well, there's something in NFL contracts. I don't know the exact verbiage, but it like jet skis, snowboards, regular skis, water skiing, wakeboarding, parachuting. Like there's a lot of these different activities or sports that pick up basketball is one of them.
In some manner.
Well, even pick up basketball.
basketball.
Yeah, it's like they have these things in contracts where if you get hurt doing X, like basically anything not training at a team facility, if you get hurt doing anything else, then you can be not paid.
See, on one hand, I get it. I get the bills. I get the contract. I get the feeling of like, no, look, man, we don't want you hurt in any manner. We're paying you massive amounts of money and we cannot have you injured. You have to be out there on the field. Now, if you get hurt out on the field, you get hurt on a practice facility, you get hurt working out.
That's on us.
That's on us. But anywhere outside of it, not on us. It just seems crazy when you just got hit by somebody else. It wasn't your fault that you got hurt. Just because you were there, it's now a problem that your contract is voided.
It's the same thing your parents would tell you when you were younger. If you're hanging out with a bunch of people who are drinking and then the cops show up, and even if you're dead sober, if you're hanging out with all the people that are drinking, guilty by association.
Yeah, guilty by association. Yeah, I guess so.
615 texts in, Ben can't name a single sitcom rodeo made before 1990, but then he just pulls out his 1970s Carla from Cheers knowledge. I have seen every single episode from Cheers within the last 2 or 3 years. And before that also, but it's one of the best shows of all time. And it's the archetype for the modern sitcom. I've watched a couple videos on this.
Archetype?
Yeah, it's the right word.
Okay.
It's like was used to.
Okay.
So the very first episode of Cheers, when they introduce every single character without introducing every single character, is now used in pretty much every sitcom that's ever been made since.
Dude, I mean, I don't disagree. I think Cheers is an awesome watch. Classic. It'll go down in history as one of the best sitcoms ever made in the history of time.
Where everybody knows your name.
And the theme song is iconic.
It was the start of Woody Harrelson.
Oh, that's right. God. Woody Harrelson, who could be the brother of Matthew McConaughey.
Potentially. It also has one of the greatest characters in the history of any television, 2 of them, between Cliff and Norm.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, no doubt. 386 says, Burrow's leg is destroyed to me.
Dude, it's rough.
I hope not.
If you watch the video, I hope he's okay. I hope that the Bengals aren't lying to us when they say that it's nothing.
Yeah.
Scary injury.
Yeah, definitely a scary injury. A lot going on today. We do have a comedian coming in the 8:00 hour. JP Sears. I'm sure you've seen the guy online, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. He has over 500 million views on all these social media platforms. He's going to be at American Comedy Company tonight and tomorrow. He's going to be joining us on a Bar Cart Friday. Also, we have Danny Vietti from CBS Sports, which I forgot about. Thanks for putting that on the rundown. It's 7:10. So that's going to be a good talk as well, because a whole bunch of things going on as we're staring down the NFL season. And Hard Knocks is in full swing, I guess. I mean, it's in full swing as far as filming.
They haven't released the first episode yet.
No, but they have released some trailers, and it's going to be awesome.
I don't have HBO right now. I'm going to need your password.
I definitely won't give you my password. I'll share with you.
My buddy, who I've been stealing his HBO since we were like 15 years old.
Yeah.
Canceled it.
Wow. I got to tell you, there's not a whole lot to watch on HBO at the moment. But anyways, we're going to break down the latest Hard Knocks and what you should expect coming up next.
This update presented by DraftKings. We'll start off with the Padres. They begin a 3-game series with the Rangers tonight at Petco Park. Bruce Bochy going to be back at Petco. That's pretty cool. Trade deadline next Tuesday in Major League Baseball. The Padres have given no indication yet on what their plans are. Currently, they sit at 49-54 on the season, 6.5 games back of the final wildcard spot. Cubs, Marlins, D-backs all stand between the Padres and the postseason with 59 games left. Shohei Ohtani, he makes history again last night. The Angels played a doubleheader against the Tigers. In Game 1, Ohtani threw a complete game one-hit shutout on the mound. In Game 2, Ohtani blasted a pair of home runs. Both games were wins for the Angels. NFL, a couple of injuries yesterday in training camp. Scary moment for the Bengals fans as quarterback Joe Burrow was carted off the field during practice. It appears to be an injury to his calf. No update yet on the severity. And Dolphins star cornerback Jalen Ramsey will miss the start of the season after he injured his knee in practice. He will have surgery. However, he avoided the ACL tear. This update was presented by DraftKings.
It's Big Rich, Sheedy, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Rolling along here on a Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Kagan Bottle. By the way, SDCCU is collecting school supplies to help students in need. You can help us stuff the bus. Donate to Roundup purchases at any Jersey Mike sub locations in the county or visit sdccu.com/donate. Oh, we got giveaways too. Man, I've buried the lead. Rod Stewart at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. He'll be there August 5th. Danny Elfman at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. He'll be there August 3rd. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com for both those shows, or keep listening for your chance to win. We are going to be having some chicken cock whiskey.
Oh, man.
I think.
Have you had it before?
No.
It's really, really yummy.
Okay. I can't wait.
It's really, really
I
yummy.
honestly can't wait. This is going to be super cool, but they're going to be coming in. Well, joining us on the phone, but I think Andreas is bringing in us a bottle or
Andreas
two.
is swinging by. Did you see? He just texted us.
I did not.
Offered to bring in breakfast burritos.
Okay. Did we
no,
do
we're
we
not cheating.
Say I love you. What?
We're not cheating.
Why?
Because we're already going to be drinking carbs.
Look. If you want to get it's a dumb move.
If you want to get a breakfast burrito, I will not hold it against you.
Look, if he brings in breakfast burritos,
I can't do it.
If he brings in a breakfast,
I already told him not to.
I see that. I see. You also there's an F.
There's a really long F word.
20 U's after that.
That was the sad F word.
It was definitely. Look, if there were breakfast burritos that came in here and our guest brought them in, it is a Bar Cart Friday. I believe there are no calories counted.
Limbo.
Yeah. In this 3 to 5 hour window,
9 hour window
that occurs. Usually we wrap up Bar Cart Friday by like 11.
Correct.
I mean, it's usually there's like a 2-hour after party that happens.
Now, during this next commercial break, I can go get Bar Cart Friday started if you want.
I mean,
because we were sent margarita mix from Casa Bonita.
Okay, and then do we have? Well, I guess we have plenty of tequila.
We have lots of tequila.
Okay.
Depends on which one you want to use. Do you want to use the phallic shaped bottle? Which that's like the best tequila we have.
Probably not. Do we have
we
any?
Can use euphoric, which I didn't actually get to try.
You should. No, you know what? You shouldn't mix with it. You should taste it because it's insane. There's no burn on it. It's very odd. Yeah, you should give that one a shot. I feel like there's a couple other bottles, like maybe the bottle that we won here.
Yeah, we could do that one.
That might be a good mixer.
Call me crazy. Kalinga margaritas.
Ooh,
so Bacanora.
Smoky.
Yeah,
have that smoky taste. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard sometimes when I'm looking at some of these bottles of tequila going, yeah, we should make that into a margarita. We should mix that with something. And it's like $130 bottle of tequila. So yeah, I don't, you know what? I don't care. Whatever it is, we'll make it happen. We'll mix it up.
But thank you to Patrick Allen for sending in the Casa Bonita.
Patrick Allen, you the man. I'm very excited to try that. All that stuff looks delicious.
There's salsas too. Unfortunately, I looked at the salsas. They have carbs.
That doesn't count today.
Dude, we can't go get tortilla chips. I haven't had a chip since we started all this.
I haven't either.
That's been one of the toughest things.
Yeah, chips and bread. It's horrible. Absolutely.
I have not had outside of the In-N-Out burger Rich and I got after the long ball invitational.
You did go do the In-N-Out burger. It's fine. It's fine. I got a hamburger with no buns, just meat.
I did that also.
It was depressing. I don't like it, to be quite honest.
Sucks.
Yeah. Hard Knocks, they've released their first clips of the show. They're going to be out there, obviously, with the Jets. You've heard all about that. Aaron Rodgers not too happy about it. I think the Jets as a whole not real happy about it. It was kind of forced upon them. But I mean, this one actually looks pretty cool. I mean, they're what I've seen so far looks good.
Yeah, some of the clips that can come out of actual practices when guys are really going at it, like the clip they released yesterday, I saw it was Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson,
Yes,
who both had excellent seasons last year and were some of the bright spots of the Jets organization. But those two guys, which is what we don't really get to see, going head to head in practice will make each other so much better. And that's what the coaching staff was saying on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like those two guys, if they're going to go with this intensity the entire time during training camp, both of them are going to get so much better just by playing against one of the best in the league.
Do you think any of it is for the camera? As far as the intensity and how hard they're playing?
No, we've talked to enough NFL guys over the years that'll tell you coaches do a really good job of making practice competitive and making practice competitions. And I think that's when you can get a lot better. Like the preseason games, I always feel like are so boring because guys are just trying not to get hurt. But when you're actually in the moment and trying to get better, that's why a lot of these scrimmages against other teams or joint practices against other teams, that's when teams can really get going because that's ones going against ones.
Yeah.
And that's when the competitiveness is at an all-time high and both teams are just trying to get better for the season. I think those are the moments where you actually see real fight and power like you see in the NFL season.
Yeah, apparently, though, the Jets are not giving full access to NFL cameras.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. But part of it is they don't want to show where players are released. They don't believe that that's they said humane,
which is the best part of the Hard Knocks.
Yeah, that is what I was going to say. I mean, that's the real parts that you see and you go, oh man, this sucks. But yeah, those are the parts that you want to see. Apparently, you're not going to see him with the Jets, so you'll be seeing a lot of practice. I don't know how much Aaron Rodgers you'll see, at least up close. Do you think he'll do interviews?
I doubt very much at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, even if like Jared Goff is the quarterback like he was last year, you didn't see a lot of Jared Goff. He did maybe one interview for the whole season. Even like back when it was between Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor for the Cleveland Browns job, you saw a lot of Baker, but that's because Baker likes the camera. You saw none of Tyrod Taylor, who opened the season as the starter. So it's just, I think most quarterbacks don't like this. I'd say the one who really loved it was Jameis Winston when it was with the Bucks. Like he was in front of the camera as much as he could possibly get. And I'll be honest, that was one of my favorite seasons of Hard Knocks because of it. But I doubt Aaron Rodgers is going to be at all in front of camera.
Unless he's in his darkness retreat, maybe.
Maybe. That
would be cool.
They wouldn't have video of that.
It wouldn't even allow you to bring your phone in.
No.
I mean, let alone a camera.
I mean, all you have to do is turn all the lights off. We did it.
We did do it, and I am better for it. I mean, I definitely we blacked out all the windows. We brought in very heavy aluminum foil, a gigantic
Costco
roll from
grade.
Costco, and we covered up every window.
Dude,
we covered up every monitor, every screen.
If I would have gotten 2 inches closer, like if I wouldn't have laughed when I was trying to scare Rich,
yeah,
I would have made him poop.
You're probably right,
because I was so close, and then I let out a little giggle, and that's what alerted him.
It was shockingly dark, and what I guess was shocking about it is, usually you sit in the dark, and after 15 minutes or so, you can kind of start to see. We had it so dark in here, you couldn't see anything.
Nothing.
Yeah, that was. Although we didn't stay more than 15 minutes, did we?
I think we did exactly 15 minutes.
Oh, we did? Okay. Yeah. 15 minutes in the darkness retreat, and it changed our lives.
Dude, it was spooky, and I got real uncomfortable real quick.
Spooky.
And no, that's what, because Rich and I immediately got up and started walking around because we couldn't just sit still in the dark and be alone with our own thoughts. You were able to sit there the entire time and not move.
Yeah, it didn't bother me one bit. In fact, I liked it better.
How?
I thought it'd be nice if it was just dark every time we did it. Every time we cracked the mics,
you are
pitch black.
Very comfortable with who you are.
What?
I think that's part of it.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but you know what? I'm the oldest here in the group, and I think as you get older, you start to care less. Turn the lights off; it doesn't matter.
Well, here's the deal, Trav. It's going to be pretty hot this weekend.
It is going to be.
It's going to be very toasty this weekend,
and
today's a Bar Card Friday, so we would be remiss not to tell you about our friends over at Long Ball.
Woo!
Long Ball hard lemon iced tea. It's one of the world's finest hard lemon iced teas. It's a canned cocktail. It keeps the party going all day long. Our guys Dennis and Daniel O'Connor took a classic cocktail, put a little backspin on it. Daniel O'Connor actually going to be swinging by next week for a little bit
Wow.
to
Oh,
make
is
a
he?
special announcement. Do you know
What?
what that special announcement is?
Is it going to be who the winner is?
Who the winner is and the
Yeah.
golf course that we'll be playing at. So if you haven't done so yet, head over to Big Rich TD and Fletch on Twitter, on Instagram. We have posts up on both of those places where you can go sign up for a chance to play a free round of golf. We're doing that drawing on Monday, so a winner will be pulled on Monday. So this weekend is your last chance to sign up for this thing. It's going to be incredibly fun. We're going to go out to one of these beautiful golf courses in San Diego, play around with you. Skill level does not matter at all. Travis Dale will be playing. That's all you need to know about the skill level. So it'll be just a fun day of drinking long balls with the boys. If I'm playing golf this weekend, which I'm trying to tomorrow, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but it will be fueled by Long Ball. Crafted in San Diego, January of 2023, Long Ball is a shareable, crushable canned cocktail with just 3 ingredients, only 123 calories, just 5 grams of sugar. Long balls have that clean, refreshing finish that'll keep you in the game all day long. I gave Jonathan Rifkin a long ball to try because he hadn't had one yet. He went home and texted me. He said, you know what? I love regular iced tea. This is even better. And that's because it does. It kind of just tastes like tea. It doesn't have all the sweeteners in it. You can find Long Ball at more than 20 San Diego golf courses, bunch of different retailers. Head over to longballshooter.com for a full list of retailers. And again, sign up to go play a free round of golf with us. We will be drawing our first winner on Monday, and then we're going to do it again a couple times once a month. Go long, tease nuts. Please drink responsibly. Longballshooter.com.
I feel like some people appreciate my skill level at golf.
I love your skill level at golf.
Mean, that hurt a little bit.
You are a menace on the par threes.
Yes, I am.
With your driver.
You did call me the best putter numerous times, and I feel like you were making fun of me.
No, you are the best putter. I was giving you confidence.
I got you.
That's all putting is. It's confidence.
Oh, it's confidence. I got you. I follow. I felt like I was solid in the long ball crushing game. I mean, I had a lot.
You were fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, remember, we got to, it may have been like our 10th hole, but legitimately the 8th hole on the golf course. We show up and our buddy Tony from Long Ball was there. And he was like, hey, you guys want tequila shots? And I was like, eh. And then Travis was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, we did do that.
You were good at drinking.
Yeah, there were tequila shots. There were Jello shots. There was a lot of long.
And then you all made fun of me for using lime and salt with the tequila shot.
Yeah, we did make fun of you. Well, because if Tony Conja was there, he would have lost his mind.
What's wrong with using training wheels?
We're past that.
I'm not.
We're Bar Card Friday veterans. We also had transfusions out there.
Yeah, we did.
God, we did a lot. Yeah, so we want you to come hang with us. We want to duplicate that kind of fun. So make sure you sign up. We'd love to have you out there.
We should have video of the Long Ball Invitational before the end of today.
Oh, which I need to give you cash.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Look, we got to talk about what Sean Payton said about the Jets, about Nathaniel Hackett. He's dropping bombs out there, and I kind of love it. Talk about it coming up next. Sean Payton of the Broncos is calling out Nathaniel Hackett. We'll tell you what he had to say next. Yeah, we're doing things right here, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Friday, a bar card Friday, because Ben Fletcher just poured us up some. What are these called?
Casa Bonita?
Casa Bonita.
Margaritas?
I almost said a Casa Machado.
So if
That's
you've
not
ever
right.
watched South Park, there's the classic episode, I think it's season 6 or 7, where Cartman locks Butters in a bomb shelter because he convinces Butters that the world is about to have a nuclear war, and then takes the rest of his friends to Casa Bonita
Okay. Yeah.
for one of the kids' birthdays. But Casa Bonita got really famous off of that, and then it actually shut down for a while. The South Park guys, Trey Parker and what's the other, Matt Serban, maybe, I don't know, they
Stone.
invested like $20 million into reopening Casa Bonita, which is now officially reopened.
Wait, is this actually theirs?
This is actually theirs.
I didn't know that. I thought this was just a joke. This is actually their stuff.
No, this isn't those guys. They invested a bunch of money to reopen Casa Bonita, but this is
This is actually
the Casa Bonita in Colorado from their restaurant.
Well, how about that? I didn't realize that.
Patrick Allen sent to us, our buddy out in Florida. I'm excited to try this.
Patrick Allen, you the man. Okay, so you've mixed us up a little drink here,
with
a little cocktail.
Miko Tequila, who was one of our first Bar Card Fridays with Tony.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. I'm gonna give a little taste test here. You ready to go? I was a little disappointed that you walked in and you went, "There's so many carbs in this.
There's so many.
Stop looking at the carbs,
Dude,
man."
But our daily amount that we're allowed to eat is already gone.
With this one cup,
Yeah, pretty much.
there's that many carbs in one drink.
One margarita.
Oh well, here you go. Carnivore diet. A little sippy sip.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is really good. Oh my gosh.
We might need to make a trip to Colorado.
Yeah, I may have to take that home. Wow, that's delicious.
That's pretty good.
That is, I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the best margarita mixes I've ever had in my life.
It's pretty good.
Wow.
It's not overly sweet.
No.
Casa Bonita. Well
Yeah.
done.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, awesome. Cliff divers.
Erin Bauman coming in with her dad, by the way, in the 8:00 hour. I feel like she's gonna want a Casa Bonita immediately.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Did you just do a little?
I did. I didn't do it on mic.
Yeah. Well, you missed out. There you go. But a little bit later today on a Bar Card Friday, we're going to be tasting some chicken cock whiskey. That'll be my first time. You've already had chicken cock.
It's really
whiskey.
good.
Yeah,
I'm a big
excited. Tailgate trivia will be chicken edition, by the way, and it'll be dealer's choice. If you want to play for Rod Stewart tickets or Danny Elfman tickets, they're going to both be out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Rod Stewart on August 5th, Danny Elfman August 3rd. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com, or you can just keep listening here for your chance to win. What you got, man?
Text line 408. Hearing Fletch say chicken cock whiskey is yummy really brightens me on a Friday. You're welcome. 615. Come on, Travis, stay strong, brother. You got this. Just think of how much better that breakfast burrito will taste after completing this journey through hell.
What? That is true. That is very nice, actually. Very nice. Thank you.
We're
You're
all
right.
supporting each other.
Yes.
Our buddy Sean, by the way, who won the Rod Stewart tickets yesterday
Mm-hmm.
on Mustache You a Question.
Mm-hmm.
He was stoked to be on Mustache You a Question, but he also, after I was getting his information, he said he's going to start doing the carnivore diet with us.
No way.
Out of solidarity.
Gosh, there we go. We're bringing them together. You know what? That makes me feel like I shouldn't drink the Casa Bonita.
We have a 3-hour window.
Okay. That's good.
But no food. We can
Yeah.
drink carbs, no food.
The Denver Broncos have hired Sean Payton as their coach. I mean, it was obviously a big pickup for them because Nathaniel Hackett was awful last season. It was an embarrassment for the Broncos, to be quite honest. Well, Sean Payton, he came out talking about Nathaniel Hackett, and he was talking about the Broncos season last year, and he said, look, everybody's got a little stink on their hands, not just Russell Wilson. It was a poor offensive line. It might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. That's how bad it was. Nathaniel Hackett was awful. He went ahead and said, there's so much dirt around that. There's 20 dirty hands for what was allowed, what was tolerated in the friggin' training rooms, the meeting rooms, the offense. I don't know Hackett. A lot of people had dirt on their hands. It wasn't just Russell. He didn't just flip. He still has it. This is BS that he hit a wall. Shoot, they couldn't get a play in. They were 29th in the league in pre-snap penalties on both sides of the ball. Payton went on to say it wasn't Wilson's fault. That was the parents who allowed it. That's not an incrimination on him, but an incrimination on the head coach, the GM, the president, and everybody else who watched it all happen. Everything I heard about last season, we're doing opposite. I mean, he is raking Nathaniel Hackett through the coals. And I mean, everybody at the top letting it go down. It was shocking of how bad the Broncos season was.
If it's clear to guys like you and me that they were terribly coached, it's clear to coaches that they were terribly coached. Not for nothing. I did see a video last night that was making its rounds, and there's been zero confirmation on this. I'm not even sure that there ever will be, but it's a guy that looks an awful lot like Sean Payton taking bong rips with a bunch of 16-year-olds.
Uh-oh.
And people are saying it's Sean Payton. And look, like, weed's legal. I don't know if doing weed with 18-year-olds is legal or 16-year-olds is legal.
It doesn't matter. That's a horrible look.
It's a bad look.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it is Sean Payton. I'm not reporting this. I'm saying there is a video that's going around of a guy that looks an awful lot like Sean Payton, and people are saying that it is Sean Payton doing bong rips.
That would be
with
horrific.
Very young people.
That would be absolutely horrific. The Jets are firing back at him. They're calling him soft, calling it BS. And I mean, rightfully so. They called him an effing bum. And look, I mean, they're going to stand up for their guy. He's over in New York now, so I get it. But
I would imagine this is Sean Payton's last head coaching job, so I don't think he cares. I think he's just letting it all loose.
Yeah, you're probably right. He's hit the F it button.
Yeah, he's already retired once.
But man, if there's video of him doing bong rips
with
16-year-olds,
again, I don't know if it was him. People are saying it is.
Wow. Gonna take a break here. When we get back on the other side, we are gonna look at the top 10. What do you want to call these? Buzzworthy players in the MLB before the trade deadline. And the number one on this list here, this is from John Heyman, who's a New York Post baseball columnist. It's got me up in arms. We'll explain coming up next.
This update's presented by DraftKings. It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Bar Card Friday. We'll start off here with the Padres. They begin a 3-game series with the Rangers tonight at Petco Park. Trade deadline next Tuesday in Major League Baseball. Padres have given no indication yet on what their plans are. Currently, they are 49-54 on the season, 6.5 games out of that final wild card spot. Cubs, Marlins, D-backs all stand between the Padres and the postseason with 59 games left in the season. Shohei Ohtani, he makes history once again last night. The Angels played a doubleheader against the Tigers. In Game 1, Ohtani threw a complete game, one-hit shutout on the mound. In Game 2, Ohtani blasted a pair of home runs. Both games were wins for the Angels. In the NFL, a couple of injuries yesterday in training camp. Scary moment for Bengals fans as quarterback Joe Burrow was carted off the field during practice, appearing to be injury to his calf. No update yet on the severity. And Dolphins star cornerback, 6-time Pro Bowler Jalen Ramsey, he's going to miss the start of the season. After he injured his knee in practice, he was also carted off the field. However, he did avoid an ACL tear, but he will need surgery. Scary news for the Dolphins. This update was presented by DraftKings.
Forgot to have my mic on. I'll yell again. I'll scream again in the 8 o'clock. We need Rich back. He's so much better at it.
Soon. I don't. Your actual scream itself might be better, but I think it's the whole and the acting of it. You know, it's like a full body thing.
Yeah, it is a full body thing. And he's got a lot of body. He's got a lot of.
Maybe he'll have less when he gets back.
It could be.
I think we're both gonna have less when he gets back.
Do you think he's following the carnivore diet?
He said he would.
It's hard on vacation.
It's hard on vacation.
Man, really hard.
He said he was just going to be eating a ton of beef jerky,
which turns out is not
keto.
Not keto. Sure. Not well. I mean, does it work with carnivore fillers?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think it does either. I don't know if technically a hamburger patty does.
Well, it depends. If it's just like ground beef that you get and you make it yourself, I think it's okay.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fine.
But if it's like a McDonald's burger that you just get without the bun,
there's a lot more going in.
Yeah, I just don't think that's good.
But they're good.
They do taste good.
I mean, they're real good. No problems there. You mentioned it in your update, the trade deadline for Major League Baseball. What are we just 4 days away?
Depending on how you count days, it's either 4 or 5, but it's next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, and we have no indication of what the Padres are going to do. I mean, look, this is rough. I mean, because you could look at this either way. You could look at it in the sense of we've already gone this far in. We might as well keep it going. We might as well try to add some pieces to this, see if we can turn things around. Because ultimately, we're 5 games under 500, but we're only 6.5 games out of a wild card spot. And if you turn things around with 59 games remaining, you could probably make up those 6.5 games. I mean, it's lofty yet obtainable.
You do play a lot of games against the Giants and the Diamondbacks in the second part of the season.
Yes, 2 teams that you got to make up ground on.
So, look, the logic is there. It does. I wouldn't fault. I would personally, but I understand the logic if AJ goes out and adds a couple pieces here and maybe deplenishes the farm system even more. To me, there's only one move here, and that's to move Josh Hader and Blake Snell. I wouldn't touch Juan Soto. That doesn't make any sense. He'd be with your team next year in a contract year where he's going to be performing at hopefully the highest level of his entire career. But you're not going to get anything back for Blake Snell or Josh Hader if you play out the rest of the season with them. Now, Joe Musgrove had some very interesting comments yesterday or the day before where he said, look, if we get to the point where we're 1 game back and we don't have Josh Hader or Blake Snell, people are going to be disappointed.
That is true.
But it's a long way to go to get to only being 1 game back.
Yeah, no, that is true. But I mean, and it's a bunch of what ifs. And if you don't trade them, then what if you did? What could you have gotten? Especially if the season doesn't turn around and you don't trade them and you're buyers at the trade deadline and things don't pan out. Now it looks even worse. It's a bad look. But the top 10 here, most buzzworthy players before the trade deadline. This is per John Heyman of the New York Post. He's a baseball columnist for them. Number 10, he's got Jonathan India from the Reds. Yeah, there we go. I like that. So he's given that a 15% chance that he's going to be traded come the trade deadline. Jonathan, any thoughts on that one, Ben Fletcher?
Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought that's number 10 of the most buzzworthy. Yikes.
The only ones I care about are the ones at the top of the list because they have implications on the Padres.
That is true. But number 9, he's saying Max Scherzer, 10% chance he's traded as well. Cody Bellinger hits number 8, a 75% chance he gets traded. That does seem likely. Number 7, Josh Hader. 20% chance he goes. I think that's low on the percentage.
20% feels way too low.
I mean,
in my mind, if you're AJ Preller right now, it's 50-50.
I agree.
It has to be.
I agree. That is a 50% chance Josh Hader gets moved. Number 6, Marcus Stroman, 75% chance that he goes. Yeah, that's probably right. Number 5, another one close to home here, but with a low percentage, Blake Snell.
Also has to be 50-50.
I agree.
Like, I don't understand how these keep coming up at 20%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how he came up with the percentages. There was no breakdown of that.
Don't try to understand it.
20% chance. I mean, listen, the 2 names that have been tossed around, not just on this show, not just in San Diego, but nationwide, are Blake Snell and Josh Hader, because those are the ones that honestly make the most sense if you were going to do any kind of trading and try to get some kind of value with them, unless just the thought is, nope, we're going for it, man. We're going to mash the throttle and see what happens and see if we can bring home a World Series with this team we have and maybe add a few pieces. But 20% chance on Blake Snell. Number 4, Justin Verlander, 15% chance.
He has a full no trade clause.
That's what I thought.
So he would have to approve of whatever trade they were going to think about making.
He does indeed have a full no trade clause. That is that would throw a wrench in these things here, John Heyman.
Nolan Arenado, Dylan Cease. Nolan Arenado, one of the best third basemen in the league. I say second best. Dylan Cease, who's really good pitcher. Okay. Number 1 on his list.
Yeah. By the way, both those, Arenado and Cease, I don't see that happening.
No.
I see no trade there at all.
Neither.
I think this is crazy. But the number 1 on his list that he's calling a long shot to be traded here, but he's got it at 10%. This is the same percentage as Josh Hader, by the way.
No, wasn't Hader 20? Yeah, he was.
Oh, Hader. Hader was 20. So Hader and Snell were 20. Juan Soto at 10%.
As it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Juan Soto is not getting traded from the San Diego Padres.
No way.
We could just leave that there.
Yeah, no way.
As much as Josh Hader and Blake Snell do make sense, Juan Soto makes 0 sense to trade this year. Now, if it's next season and they have a similar start to the season and they're 6.5 games back with like 5 games to go till the trade deadline, we could have that discussion because it'd be the same situation. You're not going to keep him at the end of the year, but you can get a lot back for him right now.
Without a doubt. But Juan Soto, look, you're right. I mean, there's no reason to trade the guy. He's one of the best players for the Padre, if not the best the best Padre this season. There's no reason to get rid of him until next season. If you were up in this same boat, then all of a sudden you'd be talking. I would think in that sense you could get something for Juan Soto. But at the moment, let's enjoy some Juan Soto. I mean, what I'd really like to happen is the Padres just come out and start tearing things up. They catch fire. Juan Soto's happy to be a Padre, and we re-sign the guy. He's good. I mean, what are the chances Juan Soto's a Padre 2025?
I would say not great as of right now.
I would agree with that.
That is going to be a lot of guacamole.
Yes,
so
it
if
is.
Shohei Ohtani goes out and signs for $650 million, which I think that's the number right now, Juan Soto's getting 5.
Well, Juan Soto's not playing Shohei Ohtani.
No, he's not, but he's really young and his ops is still really good. He's still walking a ton. His on-base percentage is huge. He's starting to hit homers again. Like, if Soto has a Soto year next year, it's going to be a lot of money.
God, I want Soto to have a Soto year next year, though. I really want that. I want him to be a Padre. There's just no way I see him getting shifted around here. Danny Vietti going to be joining us here from CBS Sports shortly, so hang on for that. We got to get a little update here on what's happening with Joe Burrow, what's happening with a lot of things in the NFL. So we'll touch base with him. But and then we'll dig in further here with baseball as well. And man, look, when we're talking Padres, we've been up and down all season long, and I'd really like it if the Padres could go on just a little bit of a run. Give me a little bit of hope and a little bit of relief of the roller coaster. I'm tired of being on the low lows and the high highs.
You've been on it all year.
I know.
You can't get off it.
I can't.
Which is really unfortunate. But one dude who's always about the money, always about the analytics, always about the baseball nerddom, Danny Vietti, our guy from CBS Sports, joining the show right now. Danny, what's going on, man?
Always about the money. I mean, come on, Ben. Come on, Ben. Let's not throw shots at 7 a.m. on a Friday now.
No, we were talking about Shohei Ohtani, who's about to get $650 million. Juan Soto, how much he would eventually get. You know all this stuff.
I do. No, I appreciate it. I take it as a compliment. I'm ready to go, baby. Throw it my way. Get me fired up on a Friday, Ben. Let's go.
One, Danny, I didn't realize you were coming to us on StreamYard, so I'm looking at the phone lines to be lit up. It wasn't happening. I was getting a little concerned. Now I'm looking at your beautiful face online. This is awesome. Technology.
I'm trying to let the beard grow out a little bit. I'm not super proud of it yet. It's just like this in-between stage where the beard looks terrible. You might even get a dog appearance here jumping on here.
I saw the ghost door open and a tail come in. What you got there? A golden retriever?
This is Melky, named after Melky Cabrera. He's a lab, yellow lab.
Nice. Love me some puppy dogs. Look, man, Juan Soto, we were just talking about it. Ben was bringing up the money situation. What kind of contract do you think he'd bring in right now if the Padres tried to re-sign him?
Well, I don't think you get as much as they originally offered him from Washington. Not right now. I still think he's getting pretty close to $400 million because you're talking about a guy with a career on base percentage up over 400. A guy with he's the only player in history to have, I think, 5 seasons with 20 or more homers and 5 different times before he turned 24. His age, that's what's on Soto's side still. That's what's still going to give him that blank check, is the fact that if you sign this guy to a 10-year deal, he's only 35 when that contract ends. So that you're seeing all these guys like Xander Bogaerts with the Padres, Manny Machado with the Padres, they're signing 10-year deals when they're 30. Juan Soto is going to sign a 10-plus year deal, and he's still going to be 35 when that contract expires. That's what's benefiting him most.
Right.
Danny, we got the trade deadline coming up, and the San Diego Padres have become a little bit of the focal point around the league because I think they got some pieces that could really help some teams who are going to be making a playoff push. But AJ Preller, Peter Seidler, given no indication that they're willing to move on from Blake Snell or Josh Hader. Do you think one or both of those guys are still Padres after Tuesday?
I think they all stay at the end of the day. AJ Preller is in a very unique situation here where I believe he is absolutely on the hot seat. And so if you're on the hot seat, why give in now? If AJ Preller is going to get cut loose at the end of the year, why trade away your guys? Why wouldn't you just go down with your ship? Now, logically speaking, I think what the Padres should do, because they still have Soto for another year, what I would do is you hold on to Soto. Do not trade Soto. That's partially why you gave so much up for Soto, is because you had control of him for another 2 years. Hold on to Soto. If the deal makes sense for Blake Snell and Josh Hader, you have to assess and then pull the trigger if the deal makes sense. But I wouldn't force it. What I would focus on is, let's hope you make the playoffs here in 2023. Let's hope you you go on a run. Things start to line themselves up and the numbers start to make sense. But worst case scenario, you don't make the playoffs in 2023, but you're still intact for 2024 because this is still a good roster. The numbers indicate that it's going to turn around at some point. But again, worst case scenario, let's say it doesn't. Blake Snell is not going to be on the team next year as his contract stands. Obviously, they could sign him in free agency. But you're kind of looking toward 2024 as your second or highest most priority on the totem pole, and then let the pieces fall for 2023.
So do you think, Danny Vietti, do you think that the Padres are going to add pieces if they're not getting rid of any pieces? Are they buyers?
If they don't get rid of pieces, yes. But they're not going to do, Josh Hader and Blake Snell. See ya, and let's bring in some complementary players. I don't see that. Best case scenario as buyers for the Padres would in my opinion, I think CJ Cron makes a lot of sense as a platoon option at first base. Obviously, Cronenworth has not fared well this season, especially against lefties. And CJ Cron is a guy that loves Petco Park for whatever reason. He's raked against the Padres in his career. So if you platoon Cron and Cronenworth, which aesthetically is pleasing, I think that would be a great option for them. And then AJ Preller could also look to add to the bullpen, just to add a couple minor pieces. But what the Padres have that other teams at the deadline don't really have is they don't really have many holes on their team. It's just been lack of execution. So you can kind of dot some I's and cross some T's, but it wouldn't be anything splashy.
Danny, you said AJ Preller is for sure on the hot seat. And last time we heard from Peter Seidler, he said AJ is excellence. Like, that's a direct quote. Why would you think, look, every other owner in Major League Baseball probably would get rid of AJ after this season if they miss the playoffs. I just don't know that Peter Seidler will. Are you convinced that a move would be made if the Padres, if this result stays the same way and this is a disastrous season?
The only alternative would be giving him one more year. And I know we've kind of said this for a few years now. It's one more. And because of Soto's contract situation, because of the guys that you do have locked up, I mentioned that 2024 is probably their highest priority as of right now. Not from the player's standpoint, but front office wise, you kind of have to start looking at least a little bit to the future. I can make the argument that 2024 could be AJ Preller's swan song, if you will, or could potentially be the swan song. But the short answer would be I think it's hot. I think it's steamy, but he could get at least one more year.
Danny, if AJ Preller is on the hot seat, or if he gets one more year, does Seidler give Bob Melvin one more year if this goes south?
I've talked with a lot of people recently, and I've come to the same conclusion. I think Bob Melvin deserves very little to no blame. The last time we talked, actually, I think we did percentages, and I think I gave Bob Melvin either 5 or 10% of the blame. I'm going to lower that even more. What is Bob Melvin supposed to do with this roster? He's moved around the lineup. He's put Soto in the leadoff spot. He's put him in the 3-hole, 2 spot. He's done the same with Tatis. Tatis has been leading off. He's been in the 3-hole. Manny's been moved around. He's moved around all the outfield chips with Grisham and moved Cronenworth down the lineup. I don't know what Bob Melvin is supposed to do. The pitching has been good. The bullpen has been solid. That's the only control that a manager in Major League Baseball in 2023 really has nowadays, is how you control the bullpen and how you're handing out innings. And the Padres have been good in that department. I don't know what Bob Melvin was supposed to do. I don't think there's a manager in baseball that could have fixed this team in 2023. So I'm not putting much blame on Bob Melvin at all.
Yeah, but who knows if he's the head that needs to be chopped, right? If there needs to be a scapegoat, it might be Bob Melvin. And I agree with you, Danny. At a certain point, it's roster construction. Like, if Bob Melvin only can go to a certain amount of arms in the bullpen and all those bullpen arms kind of suck, it's not Bob Melvin's fault. He's doing what he can. But taking a step aside from the Padres, Danny, if you look around Major League Baseball as we approach the trade deadline, do you think, is Cody Bellinger going to be the biggest move, or do you have another one out there that you've seen?
Stroman's interesting, but then again, we're talking about more Cubs, and the Cubs are actually playing good baseball right now, hovering around 500. They're in the race, and expectations are now that Chicago's going to go for it. They spent a lot of money in the offseason with guys like Dansby Swanson. They signed Stroman 2 seasons ago, or 2 off seasons ago. So indications are the Cubs are going to be in it. We already saw Giolito leave. Dylan Cease is not going to be on the table. Shane Bieber is not going anywhere. I still think, I've been kind of pushing this narrative, I still think Paul Goldschmidt is a good good trade candidate. The Cardinals are not really a World Series, definitely not this year, obviously. And I still think they're a ways away from being a true World Series contender. Not with that pitching. They don't have any top pitching prospects on the cusp. Paul Goldschmidt's going to be a free agent after next season. You have an aging first baseman. Sell when he's, at his roof. And I know that they've been talking more about Nolan Arenado being a potential trade candidate, potentially to the Dodgers. I think Goldschmidt, who's going to be a free agent at the end of next year, would be more of a trade candidate. Makes more sense for the timeline.
Hey, Danny, Shohei Ohtani staying an Angel, so it appears. Even if they win the World Series this year, they somehow put it together, they make the run. Does he stay an Angel next year?
It's too early to tell. I could sit up here and give you a BS answer about how I think this and I think that. I don't think anybody knows. I don't think Ohtani knows. I don't think the team knows. And that's what I love about the fact that they are going after it, is because there's nothing guaranteed. You know, you don't know about Trout's health. You don't know about how the roster is going to be constructed or who they can afford if they do land Ohtani. There's nothing guaranteed in this game. And so the only thing guaranteed is you have 2 months left of Ohtani under team control. And that's what I love, that they went after it, because that's the only thing. You know what else isn't guaranteed is prospects. So the fact that they went after the only thing that is guaranteed, 2 months of control of Shohei Ohtani, I loved it.
And then last night's the perfect example. Shohei Ohtani gets the guarantee from the team that they're going to hold on to him throughout this trade deadline. He comes out, one hitter, complete game shutout, and then 2 blasts in the second game in the doubleheader against the Tigers. Like, this dude is amazing, and I think we're all kind of coming to grips with how great he really is. But is that number, do you know what the number is going to be, or have any indication of how large it's going to be?
Ohtani yesterday basically said, just hold my beer and get out of the way.
Yeah.
I've gone back and forth on this. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was up near $600 million, just because, like, if you look at so since 2021, Ohtani has essentially the same numbers as Garrett Cole on the mound. If you look at his offensive numbers, he has exactly the same numbers as Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts has the second largest contract in all of baseball in total value, and Garrett Cole has the highest contract in all of baseball among pitchers in total value. You put those two together, that's more than $600 million. So take some away, shave some away because of the defense that he doesn't add to the table because he is a DH, and you're sitting right around $550, $600 million. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. The only thing with Ohtani is we've never seen a guy do this ever. So it becomes a question of, like, can he stay healthy and do this for a long duration?
And is there going to be any sort of bidding war, and would that drive up the value?
Yeah, you're going to have every West Coast team handing him a blank check. The Mariners are going to be involved. The Giants are going to be involved. Depending on what the Padres do here at the trade deadline, you expect the Padres to be involved. And obviously the Dodgers are going to hand him a blank check as well. Dodgers are supposedly in a rebuild season in that they're still leading the division. So that's just what the Dodgers do.
I hate the Dodgers so much.
Yeah,
you respect them, though.
We actually went over this yesterday because we were talking about the Padres and their roster construction and how it's like very top heavy. And you have guys who are supposed to be performing and having all-star years every year, but then you go to the bench and there's nobody. You go to the bullpen and there's hardly anybody. And that all comes down to, like, the Dodgers have been so good at being cheap and effective all these years, and the Padres just haven't been able to figure it out.
Well, dude, that's the biggest thing. That my big takeaway from this season is that for the last decade plus, people look at Los Angeles and they're like, oh, they bought their World Series in 2020. They've bought in all their division titles. I think what this season, what the Mets have been unable to accomplish, what the Padres have still been unable to accomplish yet, what this has taught us is that it's so much more than just buying a roster, because you have to do it international signing wise. You have to do it at the farm. You have to do it with your ability to create a strong farm system to be able to then do it in the trade market. So there's more into it than just spending money. And I think that's what we've learned this season is I have a newfound respect for the Dodgers, even more so than I already did.
You could just say you hate them. That's okay. You're on San Diego.
I'm not speaking to the common crowd right now. So I know everybody's punching the walls in their cars right now listening, but it is what it is.
Danny, we love you, man. Thank you for coming on. We'll catch up with you after the trade deadline. Hopefully the Padres are making some sort of playoff push when I text you next time.
You and me both, man. Enjoy the deadline, fellas. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. That was Danny Vietti, CBS Sports. Going a little bit TikTok famous now with his little CBS Sports updates. Go ahead and give him a follow. Danny does really good stuff over there. This is Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. It's a Bar Cart Friday. It's also a Tailgate Trivia Friday. If you want your chance to win some tickets to either Rod Stewart or Danny Elfman, both of them are going to be at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater next week. Danny Elfman on Wednesday, Rod Stewart on Friday or Saturday. One's August 5th, one's August 3rd. Make sure you light up the phone lines right now. 844-570-1360. Give us a call for your chance to win tickets to either Rod Stewart or Danny Elfman. Your choice. All that coming up next on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Coming up next, we're going to be playing some tailgate trivia for you to win your chance to go see Rod Stewart or Danny Elfman, Dealer's Choice. That's coming up next on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update is presented by Staples Stores. We are going to start off here with the Padres. They start a 3-game series with the Rangers tonight at Petco Park. Trade deadline is going to be next Tuesday in Major League Baseball. And the Padres have given no indication yet on what their plans are going to be for that trade deadline. They're currently 49-54 on the season, 6.5 games out of the final wildcard spot. Cubs, Marlins, D-backs all stand between the Padres and the postseason with 59 games left to go. Shohei Ohtani, he makes history once again last night. The Angels played a doubleheader against the Tigers. In Game 1, Ohtani threw a complete game, one-hit shutout on the mound. In Game 2, Ohtani blasted a pair of home runs. Both games were wins for the Angels. Over in the NFL, couple of injuries yesterday in training camp. Scary moment for the Bengals fans as quarterback Joe Burrow was carted off the field during practice. It appears to be an injury to his calf. No update yet on the severity. And Dolphins star cornerback Jalen Ramsey, he's going to miss the start of the season after he injured his knee in practice yesterday. However, he did avoid the big one. His ACL is intact, that according to Adam Schefter. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned with 24/7 PC protection against bugs, cracks, and hacks. Plans starting as low as $199.99. Plus, now get up $250 off select computers. In-store only. Offer ends July 29th. See an associate for detail. Protect your tech at Staples. It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Bar Cart Friday. We're rolling, Travie.
Woo, sorry, we got a lot of things happening.
We
JP
have a
Sears,
lot of moving pieces here.
JP Sears already here. I
looks
feel like
good.
I know the guy.
He's pretty jacked.
I know he is so fit. Do you think he does the carnivore diet?
Probably.
We'll
Or,
ask him.
he might just work out.
Well, he came in. He had to go use the restroom, so he'll be back with us here in a few minutes. But we do it every Friday, and it sounds a little something like this.
It's Friday, and if you ain't grilling, you ain't living. Let's do a little Friday tailgate trivia with Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Yeah, man. Tailgate trivia this week on the line are some Rod Stewart tickets or Danny Elfman tickets. They're both going to be at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Rod Stewart will be there August 5th. Danny Elfman August 3rd. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. But we got Jose on the line. Jose, how are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm doing fine. How are you guys?
Doing well, doing well. Let me turn my camera on. That's what they're saying here in studio I need to do, and it's on, so we're good there, Jose. Listen, it's a Bar Cart Friday, and so we have Chicken Cock Whiskey coming in. They're going to be tickling
Quite
the
yummy.
taste buds. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So with Chicken Cock Whiskey, we're going to do chicken edition of Tailgate Trivia. Are you up to speed on chickens, Jose?
I'm hoping I am this morning.
Well, if you know us, you know the show. These aren't going to be real hard, but you got to get 3 out of 5 here correct to win the tickets. But what would you like to go see? Dealer's choice here. If you'd like to go see Rod Stewart or Danny Elfman, you tell us which one you want.
Well, I'm one of the biggest Boingo Boingo fans, so I would like Danny Elfman.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Danny Elfman, this show's going to be insane. I'm sure he's going to do the Oingo Boingo stuff. He's got his own stuff he's doing, as well as some of the soundtrack stuff he's done in the past. So looking forward to all that. It's going to be cool. But here you go, man. Here is question number 1 for you on Tailgate Trivia. Fletch used to cut the heads off chickens and throw their not so lifeless bodies into A, the tomato vines, or B, a trash can.
The trash can.
Ooh, that is incorrect. That is incorrect.
You got to go tomato vines.
Yeah, you got to throw the chickens
That
into
eliminates
tomato
the
vines.
bruising because they flop quite a bit.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's right. That's how that goes, Jose. Ben Fletcher, a sick individual.
Dude, it was a job.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
I got
okay.
paid to do it.
Okay, sure.
Jose, question number 2, true or false? Chickens run around after their heads have been cut off.
True.
Wow.
They don't
Jose.
run.
Listen, Ben Fletcher says he knows the answer to this because he lived it. He lived it live. He watched it happen. He would cut the chickens' heads off and they would just flop around. They didn't actually run.
They don't run. I mean, you might get lucky and they might bounce off their legs, but for the most part, they flop and their wings really
All right.
go back
Yeah,
and
they
forth.
flop. So it's
Nice
fine.
try, though.
It's fine, Jose. You got to go on a run here. You got to get the next 3 right, and I think you can do it. I believe in you here. Eggshell from a chicken can be determined by looking at the hen's A, earlobe, or B, beak.
The first one.
He did it. He got it right. Yeah, it is the earlobe. That is correct. There you go. You're on the board, Jose. Now you just gotta make a run here. So number four. In general, chickens are better equipped to handle cold weather rather than hot weather because A, they just have way too many feathers, or B, they're unable to sweat.
Because of their feathers.
Oh, sorry, Jose. You missed out, man. That is incorrect. They're actually unable to sweat, unfortunately.
Executive decision. Tailgate trivia is over.
Okay.
We'll open it up to callers later on.
Okay, you're just calling tailgate
Yeah, we got
trivia.
JP Sears in studio, man.
Sears in studio. You know what, JP? You can grab these headphones here. Let's do that, and then I'll give you a little volume there. Hopefully, can you hear? Okay. Oh, hang on. JP
What's the hair?
Sears, has a luscious head of hair. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Do you have volume? You can hear okay there?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if it's you or the voice in my head.
It's both. Could
What's
be
going
both.
on, JP?
I
Can you
could be
hear
the
me?
voice in your head.
I can't.
Okay, good. Because if there's glass here, so you wouldn't be able to hear me if your headphones weren't working.
We got to the bottom of it. I
Yeah.
can hear.
Okay,
Good.
we did it. We absolutely did it. JP Sears, I feel like I know you because I've seen you so many times online on Instagram, YouTube. I mean, you're all over the place, and for good reason. You're hilarious, man.
Well, thank you. And I'm shallow enough that you do know me because there's that much more to me than what you see on
Well, it is.
Fully know
It's a little bizarre seeing you in so many clothes. I'll be honest.
Thank you. Thank you. I usually feel like my father is just ashamed of me when I'm doing videos and wearing whatever I'm wearing or not.
Good. Then you're in good company.
Your listeners know y'all don't wear pants during the show.
Never once.
No.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Pants, and we all take a bunch of Viagra right before we get on.
I took
Yeah.
that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a bag.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's we only do that when guests come in. It's a thing. It's fun. But man, oh man, you're going to be at American Comedy Company tonight and tomorrow. But you got one show tonight, 3 shows tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, and we had a show last night, and I'll tell you, the San Diego crowds have always treated me so well. The lived in North County, San Diego for 10 years up until 2014. So I love this city. I love the crowds. It was a great crowd last night. Horrible comedian. But looking forward to the show tonight and 3 shows tomorrow.
What part of North County were you in?
I was always hovering around the Carlsbad, Encinitas,
Good
Vista
call.
area.
Good call. Yeah.
It's beautiful up there, and spiritually pretentious, which I love, and just the beaches, the people, you can't beat it.
Right. So how'd you get into comedy?
It was a happy accident. It was, I was doing health coaching since I was like 19 years old. Actually studied at the Czech Institute, which is based out of this region. I was doing that, loving it. And then in 2014, I just started having what I thought were dumb ideas. Like, hey, I could convey this perspective through the language of comedy. I could make a comedy video. I didn't know how to make comedy videos. I didn't know how to upload on YouTube, but I just I want to do it. So I thought I was going to make one stupid video. That'd be it. But it caught on. It went a little bit viral at the time, but more importantly, it woke something up inside of me, like this creative satisfaction of using my natural sense of humor in a creative way, reaching people, hopefully getting them to think more and laugh. And then I was off and running after that. A couple weeks later, I had this amazing idea, like, holy cow, maybe I could make another comedy video. After doing that for about 9 months, I realized I'm actually tapping into something real, something new in my life. And then opportunities start coming. I start doing stand-up, which is very different than comedy videos. So now, I guess 9 years later, I look back and realize wow, I've accidentally built a pretty cool career in comedy.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Accidentally, indeed. Over 500 million views. Is that the number we're at now?
Who's counting, but it is over 1 billion collectively. Maybe 1 trillion. Let's print some views at the Capitol. Maybe it's 7 trillion. I don't know.
Are we in a pandemic? Can we start printing views?
Yeah. I think we should.
Okay,
for
good.
the benefit of the people and my ego. But yeah, I've been super blessed to have a lot of people around the world want to watch my stuff, and I'm sure plenty who don't want to watch it, so
they watch it in anger.
Exactly.
We've had a few comedians now since we started this new show, and on Bar Cart Friday especially. Which, if you want a drink, we can hook you up. But
I appreciate it. I am delusional enough sober, so
good.
But it's not even 8 a.m, but I love how y'all are.
Well, it's Bar Cart Friday.
Yeah,
the rules don't apply. We're also all on diets right now, and we're drinking a bunch of carbs, so it's okay.
That's great.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But I don't think we've ever asked a comedian about the not so fun parts of being on the road, because you guys have a crazy life.
Yeah, it can be crazy, and for me, the least fun part of being on the road is being away from my family. I've got a beautiful wife and a 2.5-year-old little boy. And since he came into the world, I had to make some new boundaries with travel, because I realized I love doing comedy, love being on stage. And that's part of how I provide for my family. And at the same time, I want my son to know me. I want to be there a lot. So now, instead of maybe 6 weeks in a row on the road, I'll be on the road for 2 weekends a month, and then producing a lot of videos in the meantime. So for me, that is the hardest part. And, talk to me on a day where a flight is canceled and I need to get to the other side of the country and I'm stressed, then I'll have a different story for you. The airlines can be a little bit of an issue sometimes, but luckily they run smooth most of the time. Nobody's given me their private jet, which I do feel entitled to a private jet.
Yeah, that should be mandatory.
I feel like it is.
Yeah. I mean,
cancel student loans, give us all private jets. I mean, what are we doing here?
1 billion views. You would think you could turn those in for a jet.
It's almost like
Pepsi points.
I know, but it's almost like nobody cares.
It's weird. That's weird. We do have to take a quick break here. You're going to be hanging out with us for a few minutes. You got some time?
I'm going to live here. I'll be here for the next 12 years.
You're in.
It's working. We did it. So we're going to be.
We got a dude out on vacation. Just take his spot.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. JP Sears in studio with us. Also, I don't know, JP, if you knew this or not, but there's a new Skittles flavor coming out.
I didn't. What's the flavor?
We'll talk about it coming up next. Big Rich, CD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760 on a bar cart Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle. We do it every single Friday. 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. Hit up a Keg and Bottle. I mean, if you haven't been in one, just go in one. It is an experience. Also an experience with us in studio, JP Sears hanging out. Howdy. Going to be at American Comedy Company tonight and tomorrow night. You have a 7 o'clock show tonight. You have a 4, 6, and an 8 tomorrow. You're a busy guy.
Sounds true. Yeah. You know, when I'm in town, as many shows as we can pack in, I love it.
Did you do one last night?
One last night, and I'll tell you, over the pandemic, and I don't know if people have heard we had a pandemic. It was a big deal if you didn't know.
As long as they didn't, make us do anything out of the ordinary,
no,
I think it's fine.
All smooth sailing.
Yeah.
But during that time when comedy clubs, they were luckily able to open after a little bit of time, but crowds were half capacity. So there was one weekend where I did 15 shows.
Oh my gosh.
And now if I'm doing 6 shows over a weekend, it just feels very light. Kind of like if you're used to running 15 miles, then 6 miles or 5 miles doesn't seem too bad. So
yeah, no
but
doubt.
I love it. A lot of reps.
I'm definitely used to running 15 miles. If you take a look at me. Like if I drive 15 miles, I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
Well, JP's in like really good shape.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
So we're not, and we're trying to get there. So we were doing this thing on our show forever called Next Level Fat Guy Stuff.
Yeah.
Where we would make these ridiculous combinations and eat them. This summer, Travis's daughter had the idea. She said, "Dad, maybe you guys should do Next Level Fit Guy stuff." So we've been doing a bunch of these diets.
Yeah.
And we're dying.
Well, and I see, is this a protein shake?
It is, yeah, which I get a lot of protests from because we're currently on the carnivore diet and that doesn't fit into the carnivore diet. But I've been doing really well with it here with the protein shake. And
so with the carnivore diet, supposed to just eat meat and nothing else. Is that right?
Bingo.
That's correct. Yeah. And I got to tell you, we're 5 days into this?
Yeah, it sucks.
It's miserable. This is a stupid diet.
Interesting. What's miserable about it?
I want something else. I want
bread.
something other than meat.
I'm a big fan of toast. Big fan of potato chips.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean I'm not a doctor. Well, maybe I am. I do identify as a doctor, but it's the extreme diets of vegan, like only plants, or carnivore, only meat. I would imagine there's therapeutic applications for each one, but also I think there's something to be said about eat whole foods, eat protein, eat fat, eat carbs, listen to your body. So that's my doctorly advice.
What do you do?
That's it. Yeah. What is your secret here?
Yeah. I eat meat, but I identify as a vegan.
Okay.
Now I would say
Is there a special bathroom for that?
There is. I just go in my pants. Nobody wants me in their bathroom. But I typically, you'd probably say I eat paleo. I eat a lot of meat. I eat a lot of fat. And then, I'm usually working out. So my body just naturally wants carbs. So a little heavier on the protein and fat, but certainly some carbs. So nothing outrageous. But for me, whole foods, organic when possible, that's the big thing I shoot for.
Now, another big question for comedians. Are you ever worried that you're in too good a shape?
It's weird. I hear those comments about
because you're a good-looking guy, you're not fat at all.
That
you're
is
pretty ripped.
False information. That's misinformation. I am not a good-looking guy.
But comedians do worry about that. Like, you can't have an Ashton Kutcher doing a comedian stand-up.
Yeah, it's I don't purposely wear shirts that show my muscles off on stage, but I also don't intentionally only wear long sleeve shirts trying to hide it. So it's sort of I'm me, and if it works, it works, and if not. So I'm someone who doesn't worry about it. I haven't noticed a difference. If I gain 50 pounds, would people think I'm funnier? I don't know.
If you were still wearing bikinis, probably.
Right. Which speaking of diets, there's a new Skittle flavor out on the market. Well, it's not really on the market. You have to win it if you want it. It's a bright yellow Skittle. It is mustard flavor.
Gross.
Yeah.
Don't they already have yellow lemon flavor?
They do. But this is now in conjunction. Apparently August 5th is National Mustard Day. Now we know. I had no idea.
Very important.
Yeah. We're going to celebrate now for sure. But Skittles is doing a promotion with French's, and they're coming out with a mustard Skittle that you have to win in order to get. You can't buy it. Well, I feel like if you win, you lose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
It's like when you were
Although-
playing those games as a kid where you had the jelly beans and one of them tasted like puke.
yeah, without a doubt, without
So
a doubt.
mustard flavored Skittles. I'd imagine the marketing executives that got fired at Bud Light sounds like they got hired at Skittles, and they're like, "Guess what, guys? What's really going to move the needle? Mustard flavored Skittles."
Okay, but hear me out on this one, right? I'm in the car. I'm eating a hot dog. I don't want to mess with that packet of mustard. I just start jamming mustard Skittles into the hot dog.
How often are you eating hot dogs in the car?
I mean, before Next Level Fit Guy, 3 days a week. maybe. Hey, it's a Bar Cart Friday. We got Andreas in here from Keg and Bottle. He is pouring up some chicken cock whiskey right now. This is going to be a good time. JP Sears hanging out with us a little bit longer, right, man? You got a few more minutes?
I do.
Awesome. I want to dig into these viral videos that you're posting and how you come up with them because they're absolutely genius. But we're having a party, man. Bar Cart Friday, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. More to come next.
This update is presented by Staples Store. Starting off with the Padres here. They begin a 3-game series with the Rangers tonight at Petco Park. Trade deadline is next Tuesday in Major League Baseball. Padres have given no indication yet on what their plans are. Currently, the Padres sit at 49-54 on the season, 6.5 games out of the final wildcard spot. Cubs, Marlins, D-backs all stand between San Diego and the postseason with 59 games left. Shohei Ohtani, he makes history again last night. The Angels played a doubleheader against the Tigers in Game 1. Ohtani threw a complete game, 1-hit shutout on the mound. In Game 2, Ohtani blasted a pair of home runs. Both games were wins for the Angels. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned with 24/7 PC protection against bugs, cracks, and hacks. Plans start as low as $199.99. Plus, now get up to $250 off select computers. In-store only. Offer ends July 29th. See an associate for details. Protect your tech at Staples.
We did it. We did it.
That was your best scream of the week. I'm really proud of you.
You think it was? I felt like I
do.
was restricted. I have shorter headphones on. I couldn't explore the studio space like I really wanted to.
You do look goofy with the small ones.
Yeah.
I like you better with cans.
Listen, I'm trying something new, man. I'm trying something new. New year, new me. Is it new year yet? I mean, it's New Year.
It's still,
sort of.
we're like halfway through this year.
Yeah.
I think it's whatever you want it to be. If it's your truth, it's a new year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year on a Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle. We're going to be sampling some chicken cock whiskey here in mere moments. And we're also going to have Will Woodington from Chicken Cock Whiskey. He's going to call in and join us. We're going to chat about what we've created here, what he's created, and what we're going to be tasting. Meanwhile, superstar, famous YouTuber, comedian, over 1 million views collectively, JP Sears joining us here in studio. How are you, buddy?
Superstars. Thank you for seeing the contract where I require to be called a superstar. It's very humble of you to be obligated to call me that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I not only obligated, but I feel good doing it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I need my wife to talk to you.
Dude, so you do these YouTube videos. I mean, look, you have met JP Sears online. If you have opened up your phone, your computer in any manner, you've gone on YouTube, you've gone on Instagram, Facebook, you have seen JP Sears, you know JP Sears, you've laughed at JP Sears. You are hilarious. The videos you come up with are so they are echoing truths. And that's why they hit so close to home. That's why they're so funny. I mean, how did you come up with doing the videos?
Yeah, for me, the video ideas always come when I'm emotionally moved by something. I might be happy, mad, or just intrigued, but I feel the emotion, kind of like that's the scent trail of any creative endeavor. And then, I mean, you nailed it from there. It's just tell the truth. The truth principle is the number one thing in comedy. I think it's the most important principle. You just tell the truth. And then, given the fact that I do a lot of political and social commentary with my comedy, this stuff just writes itself now. I mean, our world has gotten crazy in both hilarious and kind of scary ways. So it's just doing my best to tell the truth. Give a voice to maybe what's there that isn't really being voiced through a lot of the mainstream media outlets. And that seems to be the formula right now.
Man, there's a lot of news stories, JP, that you maybe read a headline of and you go, okay, that seems a little weird, but all right, that's fine. And then when you do your comedy bits on them, when you do your video on them, you're pointing out obvious points in some sort of political atmosphere that maybe people aren't saying, and it's funny, man. I mean, it's funny. Have you always been a political guy?
Never. It was until spring of 2020 when the pandemic happens, and everybody's got their own opinion, but my opinion was I started seeing like a lot of things that didn't add up, and started seeing what I judged to be some lies, hypocrisy, and corruption coming from everywhere. And, I love humanity. I love freedom. So I just like my natural inclination was, well, I want to use a sort of satire to slice through the scar tissue of these lies, hypocrisy, and corruption, and hopefully let the light of truth come out. And not that I'm the beacon of truth, but hopefully poking holes in what's going on in society can get people thinking a little bit deeper. And to me, the actual goal of using comedy as a tool is to get people more in touch with their own thinking.
No, I love it. I love it. And then now you're doing stand up, or you were doing stand up even before the videos.
Yeah, I started stand up in 2017.
Okay.
Started the videos in 2014, and the stand up was just a completely different challenge. It's like metaphorically, they're comedy videos and stand up, they're both music, but they're different instruments. One's a guitar, one's a saxophone. So there's a little bit of carryover, but they're just completely different beasts. So the stand up at the time, it was just a new great challenge to take on. I had no idea what I was getting into, and I'm glad I didn't, because I probably would have been intimidated away from it.
Does your stand up reflect what you do online? I mean, is it the same sort of comedy, or do you do things differently?
It's very different. I mean, once in a while, some of the subject matter will be similar, but how it's expressed in a comedy video versus stand up, that's completely different. But yeah, I get to take a lot of liberties on stage, because guess what? There's no one there to censor me, and you get to be a little bit more crass.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Now, where did the cross-dressing come from?
That was my mother's side of the family. For 7 generations, just dressing was in the genetic code. I think actually
you actually wear your mother's swimsuit.
No,
It's way too scandalous for that,
yeah.
Travis.
I think if we're doing this therapy session, the first time I cross-dressed for a video was probably 5 years ago. I did a video called How to Become Instagram Famous. And at the time, the big thing on Instagram was girls posting pictures of themselves. Here's their butt and a thong, and they'll have some motivational message.
At the time?
Still. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it was hilarious, because their motivational message, like, hey, go after you. Nobody cared about that. They were just trying to, here's my butt, give me attention.
Yeah.
So I was doing a video parodying that.
Which I feel like's fine. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'll watch it, I guess, if it shows up. What?
We do play a game called How Many Swipes to a Butt on TikTok.
Yeah.
We all lose every time.
Every time. Yeah. We're apparently the algorithm is dialed in that TikTok feels like they need to show us butts.
You're probably right.
Yeah, exactly. American Comedy Company, man, you are there tonight, 7:00 show.
Yes, sir.
You are there tomorrow. You got 3 shows, a 4:00, a 6:00, and 8:00. Tickets are available if you go to AmericanComedyCo.com. JP Sears, you are an absolute madman, and we love it. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
And a patriot as well. Says it right across your chest.
It does. I'm gonna get this tattooed on my chest.
Yeah, good idea. That's funny you say that, because we brought in a tattoo artist today to make that happen.
I can't wait.
No, man, fully appreciate it. I know you got to head over to some other stations here as well today. Are you sure you don't want to take or partake of some Bar Card Friday?
If it was later in the day, I would. But they're as irresponsible as I am. There's, it's like 8:00. But it looks so good. It looks so good.
Yeah. It's we're making it happen. We're making it happen here. Fletch, I'm going to walk JP out real quick. If you can handle the reins real quick with our guest host, Aaron Bauman, who's in studio. Aaron, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be right back.
Okay.
Aaron, I'm
So
glad you're
now,
here.
Ben?
Are you drinking whiskey?
Not yet.
Well, you should.
Is that what we're having today?
That's what we're having today. This is chicken cock whiskey, which is awesome stuff. And our guy Will is going to be joining the show right now. Will, you are the promoter, the dude in charge. You are the face of chicken cock whiskey. Am I right?
I sure am. I act as the national brand ambassador for the brand. So thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, dude, it's an absolute pleasure. We can't wait. I'm a fan of this stuff. Travis has not tried it yet, and he'll be back in just a second. But I've had, I believe, the double oak before, and it is awesome stuff. But talk to us about the history. talk to us about everything that goes through, and then Andres will introduce our first drink today.
Yeah, for sure. So what I love about my job the most is being able to tell the long, rich history of this brand. It's not every day you get to interact with a brand that started way back in 1856. It's almost 170 years old. And it was started by a farmer named James Miller. And he was distilling whiskey on his farm for about a decade prior to opening up his own distillery, and was known for producing some great stuff. And opened up the distillery, got it going. He unfortunately died just a few years later in 1860. And the brand shifted hands into one of his former clerks. He used to work at the distillery named George White. And George White is really the one who took the brand and elevated it throughout the later half of the 19th century. They were shipping barrels to millionaire clubs and heavyweight boxing matches around the nation. And I mean, they were very, very successful. One of the biggest things was the supreme quality that the brand offered to the market during that day. And you roll around to about 1900 and the brand gets sold off again. So it changes hands. And they continue to produce chicken cock whiskey in Louisville, not at the Paris, Kentucky plant. And then, Prohibition hits the United States around 1920, and very, very few brands survived through that, let alone even less were being produced during it. And luckily, chicken cock was one of those brands. So it was made as a medicinal whiskey in the United States for a brief amount of time. And it was also being made up in Canada and smuggled down during Prohibition. During that time. So there's so many cool historical touch points throughout the brand's history. Then you get into the 1930s and you got the Great Depression, and you got the 1940s where during World War II, alcohol was really being made for industrial purposes versus for consumption. And so it took a toll on the industry as a whole going through all of that. And unfortunately, by the time 1950 rolled around, the large company that owned the chicken cock brand decided to discontinue it. And so this brand sat in the shadows, and it wasn't being produced from 1950 until 2011. We're still reintroducing the brand to a lot of people, even though it's got a lot of history behind it because it was gone for so long. So in 2011 is when we officially kind of rose this brand from the ashes. Our founder at Grain and Barrel Spirits, which is our parent company here, he wanted to add a whiskey brand onto our portfolio, and he was actually in a museum in Bardstown, Kentucky, and he passed by this glass case that had this bottle of whiskey with chicken cock on the label. And just like I did, or you guys probably did, when you see that name, you curiosity strikes you pretty quickly. So he went home and did a bunch of research and found out that it was started way back, in the mid 1800s, and how well it was known for its quality and how long it was around, and decided he wanted to kick this thing off. So that officially happened in 2011, and 2017 is really when we started to shift gears in the direction of producing this whiskey back in its home state of Kentucky.
Well, we appreciate you being here, man. And Andreas is pouring up some tasters right now, and it smells delightful. I'm not gonna lie there, but you brought up the name. Do you know how the name was created, or where'd they come up with this?
It's a name no one ever forgets. I'll tell you that. We're very happy that they named the brand what they did, because everybody remembers our brand name. That's for sure. So it was way back, shortly after James Miller died. At that time, the whiskey was called James A. Miller's Famous Old Whiskey.
Boring.
And yeah, right, exactly. So the thing you got to keep in mind, a couple of things actually. So James Miller was a farmer. He was distilling whiskey on his farm. He didn't leave his farming roots behind when he built his distillery in 1856. He actually had chicken coops and a hog farm and cattle all on site, which is, if you go to a distillery today and you see a bunch of farm animals kind of roaming around, it's out of place. There's not really anywhere you can go to find that. So it's no wonder that they involved, an animal into the naming of the brand. But that didn't happen until the 1860s when George G. White took over. And we don't have paper documentation that tells us exactly this is how they came up with it. But here's the thought. They were using the old way of English back during that day. And you got to think about chicken cock being more of a verb than it is supposed to be a noun. It's supposed to symbolize a rooster crowing. When a rooster crows in the morning, it does what? Cock-a-doodle-doo. So it's supposed to symbolize a proud rooster crowing. And we think that they were so proud of the whiskey that they were distilling that it was worth crowing about.
I love it. If they ditched the E in chicken and put an apostrophe, it would be completely different.
It would be
Yeah.
that little thing.
Yeah, right. I mean, unbelievable. Now, Andres just stepped out of here. When he comes back in, I'm going to have him put the headphones back on so he can walk us through what we're tasting here. You've poured up some Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. That's our first. That's our first taste.
Yep. Some
Okay.
Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey, Glencairn glass, and
Well, we need one more here. We need. Do you have one here? Aaron's dad, which I didn't get Aaron's dad's name. Dave.
I brought in the extra special guest today.
I love it. Yeah, extra special indeed.
It's Mr. Aaron's dad.
It's
Welcome.
Mr. Aaron's dad. We need one more taster here for Aaron, if we can. There we go. We'll all we'll take a little sniff, and oh my God, it's got a hell of a nose.
Wait, what was the name on this one?
This is the straight bourbon whiskey.
So, Will, if you could you walk us through what we're supposed to be tasting here as we take our first sip?
Yeah, absolutely. So our bourbon is our number one seller. It's a flagship item for us, and it is really an outstanding, sipping bourbon whiskey. The cool thing to back up and go into a little bit of our production, we've got a pretty elevated wood selection process that was put in place by our master distiller, Greg Snyder. And during maturation on every single one of these whiskeys, there's a rhyme and a reason for everything we do. And Greg has oversight, he likes to say, from bark to barrel to bottle to bourbon. So, a lot of quality and care goes into each one of these whiskeys. Our bourbon is a prime example of that. So we do a medium plus toast and a level 3 char in all of these barrels. And the mash bill on this bourbon is going to be 70% corn, 21% rye, and 9% malted barley. So you get a really, really great balance of sweetness up front on the palate, right on the nose. It smells a little bit sweeter. You get those nice vanillas and cherries. It does finish out with a nice, it's got 21% rye content. So there's that nice little Kentucky hug at the end. I just absolutely love sipping on this bourbon. Obviously, it makes a great cocktail too. And Rolling Stone just named this one of the top 10 whiskeys out there to try right now too, which we're proud of.
Well, we're trying it. We're trying it right now. Here we go. Here, take a little sip on a Bar Cart Friday. Oh yeah. That is that. There's a Kentucky hug there on the end.
We got a thumbs up from Mr. Aaron's dad.
Yeah, Mr. Aaron's dad gives a thumbs up. Aaron?
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not a huge whiskey fan.
Well,
Despite
you are
my
now.
husband is from Kentucky, and he would love nothing more if I would have
This
whiskey with him at night. But
Will,
pretty good.
This is something special right here. Week after week, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the best thing I've ever had. And you did it again. This is phenomenal. I love this. This is a perfect sipping whiskey. But I mean, you said it's good to mix as well. Do I want to do that ever? I feel like I'd be
don't know.
ruining
would
it.
it ruin it?
Tony tells us to taste everything naked, and I feel like that's the right way to do it.
Whew,
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
My favorite way to taste whiskey is just neat in the glass. That, I do love whiskey-based cocktails and everything like that, but for the most part, I sip whiskey neat. And I'll tell you, I mean, our bourbon is filled with so much great flavor that you can just come to it time and time again. And, it's 90 proof, so it's not going to blow the doors off with a bunch of alcohol burn. And it's just so palatable, and it's sweet and spicy and so well balanced.
Yeah, no kidding. Well balanced indeed. We have several bottles here in front of us, so we have to move through these with a little bit of speed, unfortunately, because I'd like to take my time. But what's number 2 that we're sampling here?
Absolutely. So on deck we got the Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey.
Okay, the rye. Got the rye whiskey.
So this is the bourbon's counterpart, so to speak. We got, bourbon and rye. Those are our 2 flagship bottles, and then Double Oak would be our third. But the Kentucky Straight Rye is really awesome. I'm not sure how many rye fans are in the room right there.
Right here.
But, yeah, wonderful. All right. What I love though is that, there's quite a few people, rye just isn't as popular of a category as bourbon. And some people can be hesitant to get on board with the rye train because a lot of ryes that they've tasted have been too spicy or earthy, or they grip your palate too much. Our Kentucky Straight Rye whiskey is so palatable. It drinks more on the sweeter end of the rye spectrum. So it's 90 proof, just like our bourbon. On the nose, you can expect some citrus, some caramels. And then on the palate, man, I love the flavor of our rye because it's got sweet mint, peach, honey, oak. Of course, it finishes out with a little bit of that peppery spice at the end because it's still a rye whiskey. But man, it's one of the best ryes out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, you
that
nailed
pepper
all of
on
it.
the end is there.
The pepper on the end is definitely there. And you know what's funny? I was like, what is that? I'm getting a little hint of something. It's mint. That is fantastic. It's a fun rye.
Mr. Aaron's dad, do we get a thumb up?
Aaron's dad. Oh yeah.
Thumbs
oh,
up.
yeah. Oh yeah. Another
He's a fan.
thumbs up.
I take
Yeah.
the mint.
Wait, he tastes the mint. He tastes the mint. Minty fresh. Should we move on to number 3? We're rolling through.
Why
them quick.
not? Why not?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Number 3.
So we've got the Double Oak Kentucky whiskey over here.
with a double oak. Okay.
This
Yeah.
is the one I've had, and
this
I'm
is
a big fan.
This is the one. So when we talked about you coming in today, Will, Fletch was like, "Oh my gosh, it is so good. This is one of my favorites. I can't wait for them to be here." And this is the one right here. the double
Specifically
oak.
for this bottle. This
Yeah.
bottle is sitting on one of my uncle's mantles
Ooh.
right now. This exact bottle, and it's about halfway drinking because of one night that we had.
Perfect. You know what this
That's awesome.
smells like? Like if I had a house with a library, I want it to smell like this.
You'll get there.
Oh,
With
yeah.
I mean, this is perfect.
Yeah, Double Oak is a new release for us this year. Came out around March or so, and it's been staggering out into markets. It's got a really cool story. In 2014, there was a white American oak logging shortage, and 99% of bourbon producers are using white American oak specifically to age their whiskey in. Well, this caused this whiskey producer to have to dump this whiskey back into used barrels. At that point, you can't call it a bourbon, right?
Mhm.
That's why it's called a Kentucky Straight Whiskey. It sat in a used barrel for the first 7 years of its life. Then we transferred it to brand new white American oak barrels and let it rest for another 18 months. And it's 92 proof. This is one of my favorite sippers in our entire lineup. And you can attest to that, if you've tried it. It's got a lot of those sweeter, desserty characters to it because of the double maturation, and it's a high corn recipe whiskey. So you're going to get more creme brulees, steeped berries, waffle cone, a nice finish on the end. It lasts for a long time.
God, that's
And
funny.
to touch real quick on the bottle design too, I know the listeners can't see it, but
Yeah.
this is exactly what chicken cock used to look like when it was being made as a medicinal whiskey in the United States. So it's got that 1920s sort of Art Deco look to it, and it's got a cap on the top because your doctor will prescribe you X amount of ounces to cure whatever ailment you had, and you measure your medicine with the cap on top.
Whiskey's good for you.
way. That's fantastic.
That's what I'm taking away from today. Whiskey is medicine, and it's good for you.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? The bottles themselves, all these chicken cock bottles, look like a bottle that I want to have up on a shelf on display. I mean, they're beautiful. Yeah, they're cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
our bourbon and rye bottles are also callbacks to what chicken cock used to look like when it was being made as a Canadian rye. So it's got chicken wire on the outside. It's not honeycomb. It's chicken wire. And a pint of chicken cock whiskey back then in the 1920s cost $14 a pint. That's about $243 in today's money.
wow.
Jeez.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's medicine, and that medicine, that's a bargain.
And our
can't put a
pharmacy
price on
is
your
keg
health.
and bottle.
Yeah, our pharmacy is Keg and Bottle, and there's 10 locations of our pharmacy all throughout San Diego County that you'll want to visit.
Andres, what's our last one here before we
what's
hit
the last
commercial
one?
break?
Last one we got the Cotton Club Rye, aged 20 years.
The Cock Club Rye, age 20 years. Will talk us through it real quick.
Yeah. So back during Prohibition, there was a guy by the name of Sam Bronfman who was basically producing spirits up in Canada and smuggling them down. And one of the brands he got the brand rights to was Chicken Cock Whiskey. So he was making a Chicken Cock as a pure Canadian rye. He was putting it in that pint bottle I just mentioned and putting it into a tin can. And the reason for the tin can was to prevent smugglers from tampering with it as it was coming back across the border. And one of the cool places it was showing up during Prohibition was the Cotton Club. And if you're not familiar, it was a very famous jazz and speakeasy bar in Harlem, New York, where huge jazz musicians like Duke Ellington, Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong all played there. Duke Ellington actually listed Chicken Cock as his favorite house pour at the Cotton Club in his memoirs. So we wanted to celebrate our pure Canadian rye history, the tin can factor, and the Cotton Club factor to all of this and pay homage to all of it. So we sourced a 20-year-old Canadian rye whiskey. You're going to see that, it's pretty light in color for being 20 years old, but Canadian producers utilize used barrels versus brand new like we do here in America. So even though you get a long age statement, you don't get that dark of color. But let me tell you, this whiskey is packed full of flavor. So it's 90% rye grain, 10% malted barley, and it's 100 proof. And it is the most unique rye I've ever tasted in my entire life. You're going to notice on the nose, it's got a really funky, distinct nose, and the palate is just jam-packed full of amazing flavor.
Yeah, that is different. I just took the first sip. It's really different from most of even the rye we had like 5 minutes ago, Will.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's going to have completely unique flavor. I can't go to a bar. I can't go to a liquor store. I can't go any of these places and find a rye that tastes like this. I've never tasted anything like it, and I love that. Right, it sets us apart. But it's got dry white wine components, tart candy sweetness, licorice, herbaceousness. It's all over the place, and I love sipping on Cotton Club.
Well, if you're looking to get a really unique rye whiskey for this weekend, I think this is the one to go for. So you can get it at Keg and Bottle. I know at the San Diego State store right now, at the moment, they have 61 bottles in inventory. This is the Chicken Cock Rye Club cotton grain rye whiskey, and it is awesome stuff. Age 20 years. Will, thank you so much for the time this morning, man. Hopefully we're going to send a lot of people Keg and Bottle's way to pick up some Chicken Cock. If you're telling people for the first time trying this brand, what's the one bottle they should buy?
Oh man, again, my heart right now lies with Double Oak. I mean, I just love the great balance of flavor. Each and every one of our whiskeys is unique in its own way and delicious. But Double Oak is one of my favorite sippers, that I go to pretty often. So,
well, awesome stuff, Will. Thank you, man. Next time you're out in San Diego, we'll buy you a drink.
all right, sounds good. Thank you so much,
All right,
guys.
brother. Appreciate it. All right, that was Will from Chicken Cock. That was awesome stuff. Andres, nice job with the pours.
Appreciate it.
Aaron Bauman, nice job with the drinks.
Got it.
Mr. Aaron's dad, excellent job with the drinks and the thumbs up. We really like it. This is Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. It's Bar Cart Friday. We have old fashions poured up, made by Jay the cock or the bartender,
Ben.
and then poured in by Andres, our guy from Keg and Bottle. All that and more coming up on a Bar Cart Friday on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. All right, this update presented by Staples Stores on a Bar Cart Friday. We'll start off here with the Padres. They start a 3-game series with the Rangers tonight at Petco Park. Trade deadline going to be next Tuesday in Major League Baseball. Padres have given no indication yet on what their plans are. They currently sit at 49-54 on the season, 6.5 games out of the final wild card spot. Cubs, Marlins, D-backs, they all stand between the Padres and the postseason with 59 games left. Shohei Ohtani makes history again last night. The Angels played a doubleheader against the Tigers. In game 1, Ohtani threw a complete game, 1-hit shutout on the mound. In game 2, he blasted a pair of home runs. Who else is doing that? Both games were wins for the Angels. NFL, couple of injuries yesterday in training camp. Scary moment for Bengals fans. Quarterback Joe Burrow carted off the field during practice. Appears to be a calf injury. No update yet on severity. And Dolphins star cornerback Jalen Ramsey, he's going to miss the start of the season after he injured his knee in practice. He's going to need surgery, however, avoided the ACL tear. Staples Total Support Plans are your tech plans for the unplanned with 24/7 PC protection against bugs, cracks, and hacks. Plans start as low as $199.99, plus now get up to $250 off select computers. In-store only. Offer ends July 29th. See an associate for details. Protect your tech at Staples.
Thank God it's Friday! It's been a long week and the fellas are thirsty.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
It's time to cruise into the weekend. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch present Bar Card Friday. Brought to you by Keg and Bottle.
Yeah, that's right, man. It is a Bar Cart Friday, and we are happy to be here. Every Friday is always Good Friday here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. But Bar Cart Friday brought to you by Keg and Bottle, 10 locations all throughout San Diego County. Are we going to do these giveaways still? We still have those to... We tell people just to call in at a time.
All right, one of them is going to be at 8:42.
Okay, 8:42.
And you get to pick which one you want.
Beautiful.
The other one is going to be at 8:55. You get the leftovers.
Okay, that's right. 844-570-1360. I feel like no matter which way it goes here, the leftover is pretty strong. So you either got Rod Stewart or you got Danny Elfman. Rod Stewart, August 5th, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Same place for Danny Elfman, August 3rd. You can go to Ticketmaster.com if you want to buy tickets, but you want to win them. 8:42 is the first time you're calling in. 844-570-1360. Andreas here with Keg and Bottle, and that was an abrupt end to that music. Oh, there we go. It got real fancy real quick because we have a guest.
We're drinking old fashions.
We are.
Come on
that's true. That's true. We have a guest host in here. We have 2 guest hosts. Very, very special guests. Erin Bauman, saleswoman extraordinaire. She
didn't bring the Flabongo.
I won the bet. I won the bet.
I mean, you could.
I won the bet.
You shouldn't.
Your dad is also here, and we were pretty sure that your dad carved the Flabongo out of a old oak tree that was struck by lightning out in front of your childhood home.
Lightning boy.
Yeah, Lightning Boy. That is correct. That is the one. So, Erin, we appreciate you being here. Now, Andreas from Keg and Bottle mixed us up some old fashioned.
Absolutely.
And they look delicious with this chicken cock whiskey.
You gotta stop pausing, man. You just gotta flow through it.
I can't stop
We're all
pausing.
like 8-year-olds in here. Like, we can't. This is not okay.
Yeah,
for us.
it's not. But it's one of my favorites so far.
Which one did you use with it?
So for this one, I used the Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Nice.
First one we tried today, and it was absolutely delicious. Just want to say Jay from K&B sent his best. Hopefully you guys can taste it.
This tastes like a J from Keg and
Oh,
Bottle.
this is this a J from KMB old fashioned?
It's the Andreas version.
Here we go. Let's
Not
do
as
a
good.
little taster.
Missing cherries and
That's tasty.
garnish.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Nice work.
Nice work, Andreas. I could do this all day long. I could do this all day long. I mean, it is Bar Cart Friday, not Friday morning. So technically, it is the whole day.
So, Erin, have you noticed a significant difference? Look.
Yeah, you guys are looking slim.
Really?
Yes. The meat diet is working.
So slim.
Awesome.
So slim. You know what, Erin, is that the diet you use? All meat all the time?
No.
Oh, no, you don't go with that. I would not recommend the carnivore diet.
sounds
by the
awful.
way.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's
Sounds-
not fun.
In fact, with no carbs to soak up any of the booze, I feel like this is a bad idea too.
It's gonna go
Morning,
sour
Kim.
real
Right,
fast.
Kim has walked in. Kim, you know what you'd probably like? I know you're not a big whiskey fan here, the chicken cock whiskey, but I bet you would like a pink bikini that was mixed up earlier. Hang on, I'll pour you.
All right. Let's get it going.
I don't know. What do I do with the cups? Oh, they're
Here,
right
I
next
got-
to me.
I got
They're
cups.
oh, here we go. We got
And I got ice.
There we go. Good. Andreas is taking care of things here. Pink Bikini was a Barbie-inspired drink that was mixed up. Had some coconut rum, some pink lemonade, and Disaronno.
Aaron, have you seen Barbie yet?
Not yet.
Yeah. How come the guys in the room have seen Barbie?
Travis has
Wait,
seen
you
it
guys
twice.
have seen it? No.
Yeah, I have.
My
Not entirely
my
on
8-year-old
purpose.
is going to see it tonight, so I'll get a full review. I'm going to the
Okay,
Padres
so
game
my
instead.
This is the review.
My niece, who's around 8 years old, went to see it too, and I didn't know that it would be appropriate. And I saw it yesterday, and I don't know that it's appropriate.
I
There's
don't
a
know.
few jokes that are.
But I'm hoping those are the jokes that go right over. I don't know. If not, we'll have a conversation.
There's like a 5-minute beach scene towards
Okay.
the beginning.
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
that's that I would say is not appropriate.
Because if they start repeating that at school, they're suspended.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, at least they're all going. She's going with like 5 or 6
Yeah.
of her little friends, so they'll all get in trouble if I guess.
Here,
Yeah, I
I can get Kim some headphones. Hang on here. Let me make
Travis, you're doing a great job. Man, Bar Car Friday is tough with only 2. And now we have Aaron, so we do have 3. But starting next Friday, like we don't take another Bar Car Friday off until forever. Like this is our vacation time of the year. But EB, you're saying the carnivore diet appears to be working.
Yes.
My wife is sad because my belly's going away.
She's sad.
Mm-hmm. She likes the belly.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. What are we sipping here, Andres? You're giving me signals here, and I don't know what they mean.
Could I kill that?
Yeah, you
Or
can
you
do
want-
you can do whatever you want. I mean, this is your house. Absolutely.
Andres wants
I
to
mean,
drink more.
He does. Yeah. Can I kill that?
Fill
Was
me
what
in.
was
Are we
that.
exercising as well as the carnivore diet, or
No.
no? Okay.
I don't know what exercising is.
Okay, I get it.
Now do you hear? Okay, there we go. We got the thumbs up from Kim here on
Yay,
a Bar
Kim.
Card Friday. Yeah, are you the pink bikini? The pink bikinis where? Yeah, I knew that was going to be your style. You weren't going to want to sip on the chicken cock, which I did not pause.
Good.
Right?
Better.
I mean, that was pretty good.
That was better.
Pretty good. But man, the old fashioned. God, I like it a lot. Did you guys see the story of this poor manatee out in Florida that died? It was a 38-year-old manatee. He died after having high intensity sex with his brother.
What?
Excuse me, Travis.
No.
That's what it says.
Don't pause on that one
What-
either.
that's-
Say it
I-
again, one more time.
38-year. This is the headline. 38-year-old Florida manatee dies after high intensity sex with brother. The poor guy.
There are no words.
Right. Yeah, it's very, very sad story out of Florida. So our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the manatee. Actually, on a very serious note, hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to Randy Miser and family,
Oh,
who
yeah.
is now number 3, who in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame deaths here. He was a founding member of the Eagles, not the football
did
team.
see that
Ben
this
Fletcher.
morning.
Yeah, very sad. My favorite band. Your favorite band, the Eagles. Well, he co-wrote the song "Take It to the Limit," and which is one of the best in my opinion.
Trav, you know what this old fashioned reminds me of?
What's it remind you
It
of?
reminds me of sitting down at the bar
Ooh,
at one of our favorite places in the world,
Oh,
the Remy,
gosh.
right there off the 8 freeway,
Yes.
Hotel Circle.
Mhm.
And Aaron, I don't know if you've been here yet. Aaron's dad.
I
Mr.
haven't. I
Aaron's
want to
dad.
take Dave though.
You should
We should
absolutely
go to the
take
Remy.
Dave.
Do you call your dad Dave or do you
No.
call him Dad?
Usually this is Papa actually.
Oh, it's Papa.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Papa. He's
'Cause
Grandpa now.
He's grandpa now.
I
so-
call my dad Steve, and his name's not Steve. His name's
Well,
Keith.
that's just
Wow.
weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Kim, what do you call your dad? He's
Pete.
calling Pete. You got to talk into the microphone. You got to move it around. You used to call him Pete,
Yeah,
and you don't. And he's no longer with us.
he's no longer with us.
Ah, well, this
He
is
was a radio guy.
This is for
R.I.P.
Pete. Yeah, this is for Pete.
But we got to tell everybody here about the Remy.
That's right.
And you should take Dave to the Remy. You
Mhm.
should also have your husband take you to the Remy because it's an awesome, awesome spot. Like we said, right off the 8 freeway in Mission Valley off Hotel Circle. The Remy, it's a fine dining experience. It offers an incredible menu featuring premium American Wagyu meat cuts that Rich loves to tell us how they're made.
Mm.
Seafood,
Mhm.
crafted cocktails, and both new and old world wines.
Yeah, and contemporary American classics with a Western grit and a modern twist. That's how I always put it. But when you talk about that meat, we're talking about grass-fed American Wagyu from Whitefish, Montana. The range is family-owned and operated by fifth-generation ranchers raising the very best American Wagyu.
And when it comes to cocktails, you got to go to our guy Ken. Like Andres is pretty good at making an old fashioned, not the best. Ken
What?
is the best. We got to have some of Ken's old fashions, his Gold Rush. What did you have? You have the Hotel Nacional.
Yeah, that was the first one I had.
Right, and then we had
Yeah.
about 10 espresso martinis,
Yeah.
and Ken was behind all of them. He was doing an awesome job. I brought a big group of my friends and family over to the Remy, and Ken was making us drinks all night long and bringing us little shooters. I would say Tell them you're coming for Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, and you'll probably get some shooters also.
Dude, the Manhattan shooter,
Awesome.
It'll change your life. It'll change your life. But you know what? Not just cocktails, also their extensive wine list of vintage bottles. They provide something for everyone in every occasion. And the place, when you go to the Remy, it's an absolute experience. A uniquely decorated little hideaway with Western flair. We're talking plush leather seating, dark wood accents. It pays homage to the last frontier. It's perfect for an intimate evening gathering with friends or even for lunch.
Bring your friends, bring your family for lunch, dinner, private dining, everyone you know. Book your reservation at theremysd.com. Book your reservation at theremysd.com. Aaron's husband, I'm telling you right now, take the lady. She deserves it. She handles accounts over $250 million or more.
Yep. And that's the Remy. I think they're at 251.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good thing. It's Aaron's account. It's Aaron's account. Kim, you're pointing you're like down at the ground. I don't know what that means. Oh, that you got the tequila poured up. Yeah, we're doing that.
We're doing
next.
tequila next.
We're
with
doing
a priest.
Tequila. We're with the priest. Yeah, that is correct. Father Lorenzo from Sanctus Aquam Tequila. He'll be joining us next here on a Bar Cart Friday, brought to you by Keg and Bottle on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Sanctus Aquam Tequila, if I can get it out. That's what's coming up next on a Bar Cart Friday with Father Lorenzo. Yeah, no, I was waiting for I know it was time to talk. I was letting that one breathe. Man, if you were in here, I said it out loud just because I wanted the song to play because I love it.
It was time to talk.
It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. It's San Diego Sports 760. It's we got a whole crew in studio now. We got Aaron Bauman guest hosting here. Her dad Dave over on the far right. Kim, sales lady Kim here. She's hanging out. We got Lucinda K and we got John Fink in the coolest Star Wars Hawaiian shirt I've ever seen in my life. Dylan back behind the bar on a Bar Cart Friday. Andreas from Keg and Bottle serving things up, and we got a special guest on the line here coming up.
Most of them can't hear me that are in studio right now,
Yes.
but Trav, I want you to start screaming out. It's a Bar Cart Friday, and so we can let everyone else cheer.
Oh, so you want me to scream it's a Bar Cart Friday and
Yes.
everyone else cheers? Okay.
Bingo.
All right, here we go, everybody. It's a Bar Cart Friday! Yeah! You know what? Speaking of Bar Cart Fridays, we got to throw an invite out to Sheena and her husband out at Jack in the Box. They listen every single day here, every single week on a Bar Cart Friday. Sheena, your husband, the door is open. Come on in. You know what? In fact, I will provide the Jack in the Box. I'll pick it up. You guys stop by. I'll take care of breakfast and the drinks, but we'd love to have you in studio here on a Bar Cart Friday, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
And right now, we welcome in a very special guest, Father Lorenzo. Father Lorenzo, who has a tequila brand that we have poured up in front of us, where this isn't just your normal tequila brand, because every cent of this goes to a charity that Father Lorenzo is a part of. So, Father, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for making a little bit of time. And can you tell us about your tequila?
Sure. Hey, thanks for having me. By the way, it sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun. So I am really sorry that I'm not there in person with you. Yeah. So most people are like, wait, you're a priest and you have a tequila brand. Something is not computing in my mind. What's going on here? And it was one of those things. We've been supporting shelters for refugee children on the southern part of our border. So in Mexico, people that are waiting their turn to seek asylum or whatnot. And it was this time they kept asking for more resources and we just didn't have them. So we're like, I wish there was a way we could drink their problems away. And lo and behold, I was like, hey, wait a second. What if we start a tequila brand that 100% of the profits, literally there are no salaries. It's not a huge tequila brand, right? It's only one flavor, if you will, but it is a very smooth sipping tequila. And the story is, by the way, there is a legend. This isn't just the fact that I sort of came up with. There's a legend in Mexico that in 1922, there was a priest who had an orphanage and one of his benefactors died and left him a little distillery. And he's like, what do I do? I guess I keep taking tequila. I don't know. And an American came by and said, oh my God, this is such good tequila. I want it. I want all of it. The socialites in the U.S. will just love it. He's like, oh, this is amazing. Yay. It's like, well, one caveat, one little thing. We have prohibition in the U.S., so I need you to call it holy water and bless it so that we can import it as holy water, not as tequila. And that is why we have, it's a tequila, it's a blanco, and it actually is just, but it's actually a really, really, really good tequila as well. I you know, as a good servant of the gospel, I spent a lot of months tasting all the tequilas I could to find a flavor profile that would be good, that could live up to this. And went down to Mexico, went down to Guadalajara, went out there, met with different people, and finally found that flavor profile and created Sanctus Tequila, Sanctus Aquam, which means holy water. So it is, and the bottle still has the wax seal and everything. It is meant to look like it would have looked if there were a bottle from that legend. And so that's what you have in front of you today is this little tequila. We've only been producing 960 bottles a year for it. And we're just, you know, what's interesting though is that even though we sold, I think like 300 bottles this year, what we've been able to do is we've been able to build a kitchen at one of the shelters. We've been able to feed more than 200 families for 2 months at one of the shelters. And we've also been able to support some of their other efforts that they have, like hygiene and whatnot, at the shelters as well. So it really is, we say, sort of kidding around, we say you can help a kid with every sip. But it really is doing that. We're helping the best we can. And if you can have a nice tequila while at the same time be helping kids, it's like, that's like a win-win.
Father Lorenzo, Sanctus Aquam tequila. It smells beautiful here in the glass. Can I? Has everyone already had a sip? I'm the only one who hasn't.
No,
sipped.
I'm waiting for Father to talk us through it.
I was waiting for.
Wait. What's the flavor?
Father Lorenzo, you got to talk us through what we're about to experience here.
You're about to experience something. I mean, I would say it's holy, but that's just me as priest. So what you're about to experience It is otherworldly. It is a really, really. I tell people are like, "Hey, can I make a margarita with this?" I'm like, I really wish you wouldn't, because this is meant to be sipped. The way that tequila is meant to be. So you'll find when you have it, there's just a little. Sometimes you drink a tequila and there's the burn that goes down with it. This one does not have that.
Wow.
That was one of the main things that we were looking for, that you can sip it and it doesn't burn as it goes down. And I encourage that people not have it with ice or with any sort of mixer, just have the tequila. And so what you do when you begin is you put it in your mouth and you just swish it around a little bit, and you'll feel how the flavors open up. And the flavors are sweet. It's a little bit sweeter than just straight tequila would be. But it's all natural. It's 100% agave. It is just the type of agave that we found, and the way that they actually produce it for us, that just gives it a little bit of the sweetness from the agave itself that remains.
Yeah, you know what,
Okay,
Father
it's
Lorenzo?
awesome.
It's fantastic. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic. You know what's odd is it almost tastes like if you were saying I made fresh squeezed tequila, like it's right out of the plant. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
Trev,
And
can I read you the tagline in their website?
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
first one. An Episcopal priest makes for an unlikely distiller, but Father Lorenzo had a vision for a new kind of holy water, an exceptional tequila crafted in the service of impoverished migrant children seeking a better life. These things just don't go hand in hand,
Yeah.
Father Lorenzo.
And also, I
guess-
mean, is there like a Sunday service I can attend?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Are your parishioners all the biggest drinkers?
It is the happiest church ever. No, you know what's interesting is we ourselves are the ones that sometimes put up these borders that say, I cannot mix this part of my life with that part of my life. And so as a priest, I believe that God is in all the work we do and everything that we do. So even inviting God into when we're having moments of joy and drinking with friends, that's actually a holy moment. So to have a tequila that can go along with it, that's also helping people. That's what's interesting about this. Like, and if you were saying like, it's helping kids, yeah, but it's awful. It's like I'm only going to buy it once. No, we want people to actually think like, wow, this can become my tequila. This is a tequila that I can give as a gift to someone, saying, by the way, not only did you get a great tequila, but you're helping kids.
Yeah,
So
without
it's
a doubt.
Sanctus Tequila, and you can buy it at Keg and Bottle. And by the way, Tony doesn't make a dime on this either. Every single penny is sent to the children that you, Father Lorenzo, are helping out. Awesome, awesome stuff. Awesome story. Awesome tequila, man. You got fans
thank
here.
When's the next time you're going to be in San Diego, and when you stopping by the station here?
That's what I'm going to have to do, and bring some more tequila, some more freshly squeezed tequila. for you.
Exactly right. You can squeeze it right here in the studio if you like.
Exactly.
Father Lorenzo, Sanctus Tequila, we appreciate you being here, man. Absolutely phenomenal. You're doing the Lord's work.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I hope you all continue to have a wonderful day and a blessed weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. It's a Bar Cart Friday. It's brought to you by Keg and Bottle. We are wrapping things up here on the show. We got to thank everybody who was a part of it. Will Woodington, Father Lorenzo, Andreas, Dylan, Dominic Giamacarena in studio. Yeah. John Fink, Lucinda K, Kim, Aaron Ballman. Thanks for stepping in and guest
got it.
hosting. It's
Anytime.
been a crazy day. And
When's
your
the big guy
dad,
come back?
when can you come back?
No, when does the big guy come back?
Oh,
The
I
big
don't
guy's
know.
rich.
Yeah, Rich. The big guy.
That guy.
Oh,
Not
that guy.
that guy.
Yeah, not that guy. No, John Fink is here. Rich is back with us Thursday, I think. So we'll party. But Dave as well, your dad, thank you so much for joining us. Happy Bar Cart Friday, everybody. Have a great weekend. Colin Coward, the Herd.